came out of Houston. I don't think he said the best. He said the biggest artist.
Biggest, I guess.
Beyonce, him, and Travis Scott. Is that accurate?
I mean,
when I first heard it, I'm like, huh?
I mean, if we're wait,
let's talk about. I mean, I guess I got to see what he mean by biggest artist to come out of Houston.
Like sold the most, like in music period. Because I would assume like ZZ Top probably bigger than Lil Flip. So like I don't know. Like is he? I thought he was talking about rapping, but the fact that he put Beyonce in there, yeah. I don't know.
He said biggest artist to come out of Houston. Beyonce number 1, he's number 2, and Travis Scott number 3.
Travis Scott's not number 3.
Yeah, that's what I said. I feel like Travis Scott, if we talking about numbers and all that stuff, I feel like Travis Scott might be bigger. Even shit, I say money. I feel like
Lil Flip never had a tour that was nothing like a Travis Scott tour, man. Lil Flip never had his own festival. Like let's stop the cap, okay? And I like Lil Flip. I like Lil Flip, man. I've met him a couple times. Yeah. Had him on a Paul Gallant show, Gallant at Night, back when we was doing on 610. Good dude. Very humble, actually. So I'm really surprised he even said that. But let's stop the cap, man. No, you're not bigger than Travis Scott. Saying he's top 3 is even a stretch. And I'm a Lil Flip fan, and he definitely his run was huge. I mean, rap-wise, he was the biggest rapper to come out of Houston. But if we're talking,
especially
artists,
early on,
I don't know.
Yeah, I would say if you talking about back in the 2000s and all that, I would probably say because that's I ain't really even with Scarface, I knew who Scarface was, but Lil Flip was like H-Town, like freestyle. That's when I was like, oh shit, this dude from Houston, and that's when I was like, damn, he kind of putting Houston on the map. No disrespect to Scarface, but Scarface was kind of universal. Yeah, like he was in everybody's hood. But Lil Flip brung I feel like he showed me what Houston was.
No, I mean really, I would say probably Lil Flip, because Lil Flip was huge nationwide.
Like I knew who Scarface was, but it wasn't like, oh, Scarface, he showed me what Houston was. Yeah. I felt like Lil Flip showed me what Houston was. Yeah. And then that trickled on down to like the Paul Walls, the Slim Thugs and all that stuff, the SUC. So that's when I was like, oh, but Lil Flip was like, he kind of put that on the national level.
He did.
Where niggas was talking about sipping lean and tipping all that stuff. So.
Nah, he did. He deserves credit for that, man. Like he paved the way for like Swisher House People and Slim Thug and Paul Wall and all them. And he was definitely like, there have been several artists who were on the verge of breaking out, but for whatever reason they couldn't or didn't make it. Like Fat Pat, everybody thought he was going to be like the next big thing out of Houston, but he had died before he had really even been able to blow up like that. Big Mo was one too, but that fucking Purple stuff video, it was so cartoony and stupid. He was mismanaged. He could have been huge out of Houston, but he was mismanaged. So it was always like somebody would be on the verge. Lil Kiki was almost there, but Lil Flip was the one who really broke through on a nationwide scale. So he does deserve credit for that. I think he's underrated in hip hop history, but to say he's over Travis Scott, and just under Beyonce is a little bit of a stretch, man.
Yeah, because I think he said top 3 artists to come out of Houston. He said Beyonce, him, and Travis Scott in that order. Because it'd be one thing if he was just like, me, Beyonce, Travis Scott, and
him putting it in that order is kind of offensive. I'm not even a Travis Scott fan like that, man. But I have eyes. I know numbers, and the math ain't mathing with that, man. I got to say. But shout out to Lil Flip, regardless, man. Still a legend in his own right.
Yeah. He be throwing a lot of stuff out there, man. He threw out the I could beat T.I. in the verses.
Yeah,
he been throwing out a lot of stuff, man. He been wanting all the smoke.
Yeah, and I don't like this term because Lil Flip usually, I mean, we had him on ESG show, we interviewed him, we had him on the Paul Gallant show, And like he's always like a humble dude. He was kind of, I don't want to say boring, but like he would never say anything for shock value.
Yeah.
You know, anybody we brought up, he'd be like, "Oh, I'm cool with him. Yeah, we cool. Like it's all good." Like he would never speak on beef or anything like that. But lately, it kind of seems like he's saying shit for clout now, dog. And I don't know, like the T.I. versus, come on, man. Like number one, he just shouldn't do that. Period. It's not gonna happen regardless. But I mean, if they're talking about fucking Memphis Bleak and fucking Joel Santana, then maybe he has a shot. Because I don't know, man. Apparently, we're past the bottom barrel.
Yeah. Now, Memphis Bleak and Joel, I think Joel's is calling out Memphis Bleak, saying he wanted to do a verse with him. That might happen because they running out of niggas that do verses.
Yes.
But man, we're gonna get into that the latest verses, the R&B verses, and how look, man, I can't sit here and give a winner to a verses before the verses anymore, man. Because it seems like the ones that we count out, they always end up being the ones to win, man.
Yeah, because they're the ones who know their discography is not going to carry them. So they actually have to do a good performance.
Yeah,
and the other dude is like, fucking, I'm just gonna play my hits and whatever.
Yeah, man. And that
don't do nothing.
Yeah, and that happened. That happened on Thursday night, man. A lot of people was looking at this matchup. It was so versus they had like a little opening act. I think this is the first time they ever did that. So it was like a tag team match. It was like fucking wrestling or some shit.
WrestleMania.
Yeah. So they had Ray J and Bobby Valentino versus Sammy and Pleasure P from Pretty Ricky. And the shit kind of it lasted way too long. But and then the main event was Omarion versus Mario. And obviously, I mean, I don't know how you feel about all of these gentlemen, but a lot, I would say majority of the people said Ray J and Bobby Valentino is going to clean up Sammy and Pleasure P. Because from my knowledge, Sammy only had like 1 or 2 songs, so I don't even know why he was even in there. And then Mario, I thought Mario only had a few songs, but those dudes came out the winners according to Twitter and social media. So we'll get into that a little later. But yeah, man, I'm not sitting here whenever they announce a versus match. I'm not saying, oh no, he about to get swept or he about to get washed. Because we gotta remember, man, it ain't all about the songs. It's about how you perform it and how you sound.
Yeah, well, I'm of the opinion that we need to just go ahead and lay this whole thing to rest.
I know we keep saying that every week too, man.
Nah, I mean, I'm serious now, dog. Like I could this shit, and even the Omarion versus. We'll talk about it a little bit, but yeah, I'm just anti-versus now. I'm at the boycott stage of versus now. Like I'm intentionally not watching shit because, like, come on, man, it's the same old shit. Always a fucking production mess. They acting like they doing this shit for the first time every time they do it. Poor planning, poor performances, and bottom of the barrel ass people we're talking about in versus now. No disrespect to Memphis Bleak and Joel Santana, but this is what we're talking about now. Then we need to go ahead and hang it up, flat screen.
Yeah.
But
all right, Nicki Minaj.
But we'll talk about that in a minute, man. We got a lot to break down. We got a new dance hit apparently. From one Beyonce knows
two weeks in a row, man. We talking about dance music on the hip hop podcast.
I know, and that can't be a coincidence. But we'll get into that. We'll get into conspiracy theories and all that. Yeah, we'll get into all that in a second. First off, Figgy, how you been, man? Know you've been a busy week at the station. You got the NBA draft. You got the Astros still going on. You got training camp with the Texans going to be starting up soon. So how you been? How's everything over there, dog?
Man, everything cool, everything going. This is if you work in radio and you cover a football team, this is not even just cover a football team, but this is around the dead time. We call this the dead time, where it's number baseball, meaningless baseball, where you don't have to cover every single game. No, it's the off time for the football. We had OTAs a couple weeks ago, but this is like the real off time. This is the dead time until training camp, and then the NBA draft just happened. So now that's it. There's nothing else to talk about. So a lot of fun happening on the radio, talking about random stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man, we chilling, man. We good. I'm good, and yeah.
Yeah, that was my favorite time when I was producing, man, because I was into sports, but I also like talking about other shit. Like, I'm not a sports nerd, and that's probably why I didn't make it in sports radio, because like I'm just not a nerd about it, man. Like, I watch it, I'm entertained by the casual stuff, but I always like fucking thinking of new ideas and little sketches and things for us to do and games for us to play on air with the listeners and shit. That was always fun to me, man. So yeah, it's definitely what you make of it. Some people are just starving out here on the radio. So yeah.
Breaking down the office line and shit.
yeah. It's getting dirty.
Which rookie will make the biggest impact in 2022?
or having the same fucking debates over and over again about Tom Brady's legacy and shit like that.
Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
LeBron tweeted this. What is he? Dog, fucking Undisputed be so disgusting with that shit.
Yeah.
Like, they anything LeBron does. Yes. LeBron could trip on himself outside. They would have a segment on it.
Yes.
Does this prove? I've never seen Jordan trip on a curb on video. Does this like
this is supposed to be King James? And he's tripping over himself. Just like he tripped over the San Antonio Spurs. Just like he tripped over the Dallas Mavericks. Is this the same LeBron that tripped over in Cleveland and left and went to Miami? Oh man, I know exactly what it is. And I ain't watched that show in years.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I recently saw they made a top 10 list to all-time NBA, and like it was so funny. I had to laugh. I can't even remember if LeBron was even on Skip's top 10, but if he was at the very bottom. I'm like, what the fuck? So, dog, it's just fucking a business of trolling. But you won't find that at 610. You only get quality shit on there. So make sure y'all listen to Sports Radio 610 in the loop, 10 to 2 weekdays, Figgy Fig on there every day, curating the vibes and all that. So make sure y'all tune that in. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I don't know if we're still in Mob Tides, but if we are, we need to have Jay Prince introduce the podcast real quick, man.
The gems and juice.
Yeah. I thought he was going to hit me up. So you need to delete that tag.
Yeah, it sounds like y'all got died.
Y'all not qualified. Yeah. Y'all the type that shit in the bed and blame me on the
baby. Yeah. Look, if Jay Prince told me to take the podcast down, we take the podcast down, okay?
Yeah, I would never play or mention Jay Prince ever again, man. I will be terrified.
Yep. But look, we need to get him back on I see him doing a podcast run, man. We need to get him back on a podcast, dog.
Yeah.
I saw he did the Scarface podcast. I think he did $1 million worth of game. We need to get him back on our podcast.
And when we get him back on, because we got him more unexpected. So I was at home with COVID. I think you wasn't prepared. We made it work, but if we could get him on like now, and man, we'd be talking. I would be like, hey man, how you feel about that dude? That dude in Cat. What's that dude name? I forgot his name. Yeah, Whack 100 or Rat 100. Man, how you feel about 100?
That? Yeah, how you feel about NBA YoungBoy? What's going on with that? Like, we could ask him all types of stuff if we had him again, but
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. We got to hit him up. We got to use our Mob Ties. If we're still in Mob Ties, I don't know. We did give Drake's last album a bad review, so he might be kicked out.
If we get him back on, I would definitely be honest with him about the Drake project. I'm like, hey, like, is this fair or foul? That
I would ask. I would ask him what he thinks.
Yeah,
because I want to know what kind of music Jay Prince listened to.
Yeah,
I would imagine it's like a lot of Motown and shit. I don't even know if he listens to rap, man. For some reason, I can't even imagine Jay Prince listening to rap music like today's rap music.
Yeah. Do you see him being a country music fan since he is from Houston in the South?
I mean, I could kind of see it. He just seems like an old soul to me, and like a lot of old black people like country music, man.
Yeah, especially from the South.
Yeah, so I could see that definitely. I just can't see him like listening to this latest Drake album.
Yeah,
I just can't see it, man. But
I feel like he'd be super political. Obviously, that ain't breaking news, but I feel like he'd be like, "Yeah, this is something different he wanted to do."
Yeah,
and he's super talented, and he can do whatever he want, and blah blah. I feel like he'd say something like that. I feel like he wouldn't say, "Nah, it's not for me." He wouldn't even say that. I don't think he'd say, "Nah, it wasn't for me."
Nah, he never speak out against Drake, man. He would call him a genius for expanding the audience. So, and which you could argue that too. Now, that could be a good point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But so without further ado, man, fuck it, let's get into new music. Now, most notably, the biggest release, the most anticipated release of this year, I would say, has to be the new Beyonce single called "Break My Soul."
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we get to the actual song, explain to me, man, what did you think this song would be when you first, because they announced the title and they announced when it was going to drop. When you heard the title "Break My Soul," what did you think it was going to sound like?
I honestly, when I first seen this song title, the first songs I thought about was the remember the Beyonce song "Love on Top," the one that's always playing that type of vibe. Mm-hmm. Now I know it wasn't gonna be all happy, but I thought it was gonna be that type of vibe, or her old song "Halo" or something like that, where it's a little slow. I didn't think it was gonna be, for some reason, I didn't think it was gonna be trappy, the old Beyonce trappy sound. But I thought it was gonna be some real R&B, to be honest. So it threw me in on a loop when I hit play. So I was like, oh shit. And then my conspiracy mind got to going.
Yeah, I thought the same thing, man. When I saw this title, I kind of imagined like some Adele sounding type shit. Some you tried to break me. Some man did her dirty, but you not gonna bring her down. Some shit like that. And so when we did play the song, it was a dance song. What up, Tab? We see you in the comments. By the way, we're streaming every Friday around 8 o'clock on Twitch and YouTube. Make sure y'all check us out there. You can get in, interact with us. We'll shout you out, talk about whatever you want to talk about. So, yeah, make sure y'all peep us if y'all get a chance on Friday evenings. But anyway, so this single, yeah, I expected a slow sounding R&B ballad. Yeah. And what we got was a complete opposite. We got a dance song, but like a real dance song, not like the Drake dance album, which is not really a dance album, but this is a straight up 90s technotronic Quad City DJs, CC Peniston,
LGBTQ friendly. Runway certified. This is this check all the boxes.
Yes, it is a vintage like 90s dance house beat. Yeah. And so I mean, the lyrics are more like, the world's not gonna bring me down. I'm back outside. I quit my job, which is hilarious in this economy. Yeah. Like,
I know.
Okay, I'm not gonna get into that yet, because I have a lot of thoughts on the lyrical content, but I want to get your take on the actual song, man. So, how do you feel about the song? And how do you think it compares to, like, let's say the Drake album in terms of catchy dance music?
I think, man, to me, the song, I ain't gonna lie, I probably wouldn't go back to this song, but listening to it for the first time, it kind of got me hyped a little bit. I'm just like, okay. It seemed like everything, like you could put any song on that Drake album and this song alone next to each other, and it check every box outside of the Drake shit. Like the beat, the production was clean and A1. I was surprised Dream did this. Mm-hmm. But it was super clean. Seemed like it was super mixed. It was polished. Her her vocals, she was showing off on her vocals on this. Her vocals were strong. So it was like, man, like this is a dance song. And so I was like, okay, I wasn't even mad at it. Like I said, like I probably wouldn't go back to this, but I'm not mad at this at all, man. This is, to me, it was a clean dance song. I feel like this is a dance song. Everybody all week been saying, oh yeah, y'all don't understand. Y'all got to go outside the country to, hear the Drake album, and you got to be in Miami in a club and all this. I'm like, man, I give anybody $20 to show me how you gonna dance to this Drake album. Like I listen to that Drake album again, and I don't understand how. Like I don't even understand how to catch a rhythm to this song, to his music on here, man. Like I can't imagine being on the dance floor and that song come on, and I start dancing. But the Beyonce song, like I feel like people will get up and start dancing to that shit. I can see that. I can see people walking on a runway to that. I don't see people walking on a runway to Drake. So I see people walking on a runway to some old Drake songs. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I thought the song was clean. I was a little troubled by the lyrics a little bit about the I quit my job, because we know how Beyonce can influence people. She influenced the single ladies. Probably a legendary classic song that will be played at every single wedding when it's time to throw the flowers and shit. Yeah, she make all that type of shit. She made single ladies being a married woman or engaged or whatever the case may be. But yeah, man, she made the Lemonade album that made people want to say fuck these niggas and fuck my relationship type thing. I'm out here. And she went right back home with her husband, her lovely husband and family. So yeah, Tab just put I'm a survivor. Mm-hmm. She did all that shit, man, that empower every woman, every person. But I was a little worried about her saying, I quit my job. So now she about to have all these people listening to these lyrics and quit their job and all this other bullshit. So that kind of worried me a little bit. And the other part, as far as the lyrics, I kind of cringed when she said, "I'm back outside."
Yeah,
that term, man.
Yeah,
I'm sick of that. I'm outside. I feel like that was kind of forced to try to say, "Hey, I'm up on the new terms." I felt her and Jay-Z do that often, where they try to say something that we all saying, Liddy or whatever the new word is.
Planking on a million. Remember that bullshit?
Yeah. Miley Cyrus.
Molly twerk. Oh God, Jay.
Yeah.
Bad memories.
So I surprised Beyonce mentioned pushing P on here. But
God.
Yeah. But outside of that, I feel like this is a real dance song. I could see them playing this song in a real club. I don't see them playing no Drake and none of these dance clubs. And clearly people haven't been to a real dance club before, because his shit, to me, even like I said, I listened to this Beyonce song and I went back to the Drake song, the Drake album. And it only, like, even the mix don't really hit the same, man. Mm-hmm. Like Beyonce, like I know Beyonce got top of the line engineers and all that shit, but even Drake's mix, it sounds like he just rushed and put that out, which we'll get into after you tell us about how you felt about this song. Because this is probably not a breaking news conspiracy, but it got me thinking once she put this out and I seen it was a dance song. So I wonder if Drake got a little insider tip.
I mean, I don't know, man. Like, this can't be a coincidence. That's my thought. Like, Drake, now, at the very least, Beyonce telegraphed this release. Like, we knew the album was coming. She already announced that. I'm sure Drake has heard this song.
Yeah.
Because he's tapped in. And for him to drop a dance album a week before Beyonce drops a dance single, and none of them have been doing this type of music lately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It can't be a coincidence, man. I don't know if it's like something that they are all just in on, like, hey, let's make this the new wave, or if Drake was trying to get a one up by getting the credit that Beyonce would have gotten if she dropped this out of the blue. But now everybody's talking, like, now it's attached at the hip. Drake and Beyonce are bringing back house music. When before, if Drake ain't dropped that album, it would have just been Beyonce. So he kind of forced himself into the conversation, even though clearly his music was not as good.
Yeah. So do you think, so this is the other thing I was thinking. Do you think he had this album ready already? And Beyonce, and he found out Beyonce was releasing the dance song, so it kind of fucked him up. So he went on and released it that night, or you think he somehow found out Beyonce was releasing the dance song, and he decides to throw something together because the title was thrown together clearly. Mm-hmm. So I wonder, did he just try to throw something together, or I don't know. I just got all type of questions, man. I wonder now I'm thinking, how old are these songs, or did he just slap these songs together? I got all type of questions now.
I mean, I do too. And I'll say this because I was listening to Academics, and say what you want about Academics, man. He's tapped in about shit.
He's the plug, man.
He is. He got information about Drake. He be talking to Drake, and he has label sources and all that shit too. And apparently he said that when Drake turned the album into the label was surprised. Like, they weren't expecting, they knew he had been working on music, but they didn't know he was about to drop an album that day. So apparently nobody knew that Drake was coming out with this album. They just knew he had been recording some music, which I'm sure he's always recording music.
Yeah, that's no big deal.
I mean, that's a good point. Did he rush it because he knew Beyonce was coming? Did he I don't know, man. There's so many questions. Like, why was it an album? That's my biggest question. Why was it an album?
Yeah.
Why not a project, a mixtape, something? Why an album?
Yeah, and then too, you gotta remember, he got a new deal. He got some type of crazy deal, which I'm guessing he ain't going nowhere. And he probably could do whatever he want, because anybody else can't just, turn in the album that day and drop that night. So whatever type of deal he have, he probably can do shit like that now. Yeah. He probably could just put anything. He can put a dance album together and just put it out that night. And I wonder, he probably don't even have a limit of albums in his, contract that he have to, abide by. I'm guessing because people are saying it's the biggest contract in history. So I wonder, so I wonder if it's like, unlimited albums where he could just put out anything. He could put the album out tomorrow, and and it is what it is type thing. So I wonder if that has something to do with it too.
I mean, when you're at Drake status, you can already kind of do whatever you want. I mean, nobody. Same with Kanye. Def Jam can't do shit to Kanye. Like, he gonna drop what he wants to drop when he wants to drop it, and they can't do anything about it. Really. Yeah. So, but I will say this, because what's interesting is that it seems like Beyonce and Drake switched album rollouts. Yeah. Because Beyonce was traditionally the one, ever since its self-titled albums, she would just drop unannounced.
Yep.
And Drake was the one who would have the rollout. Last album, not even a year ago, he had billboards in every major city promoting it. He had viral videos going out. He had a whole campaign. He was on ESPN, a whole marketing campaign behind his last album. And this one, out of nowhere, even the label didn't know, surprise drop. Now we got Beyonce doing the traditional album rollout, a month, selling merch, selling physicals already, and dropping a single a month before the album comes out.
Yeah.
So she's doing the traditional way all of a sudden. and Drake is doing the Beyonce way. So it's all confusing, man. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like,
So do you think Drake the way he dropped this out, do you think this was just straight up rushed?
I don't know. That's the thing. I have no idea. I have
Because
no idea.
he's an excellent executor. He know how to plan shit. And he kind of I ain't gonna lie, he like 10 steps ahead whenever he do something.
Yeah.
It was only a few times where it kind of, took him off track, but for the most part, he usually ahead of the game. But I don't know, like now this seemed like it was super rushed because this ain't the first time Drake said, "Hey, I got an album coming out Friday" or something like that. He did that before. But the way this happened, we found out the same day. And this was after Beyonce announced her, because I think an album was announced from Beyonce, the title, and then they say the single dropping I guess next week or whatever the case may be. But it seemed like after that, that's when this. I think it was it this? It might have been the same day or at least a day after, because I remember people going crazy saying, "Damn, Beyonce dropping, Drake dropping," and for some reason people was talking about Serena Williams too. So everybody was like, "Damn, we get all three of them in the same week." I think it's Serena Williams returning back to tennis. The Wimbledon.
People excited about that?
I guess somebody tweeted or said something about all three of them in 1 week. So I'm thinking like, damn, what happened with Serena? I thought something happened. But I was just like, oh, she just returning to the Wimbledon after a year?
That's like getting excited for Jordan on the Wizards.
Yeah,
Have y'all seen Serena lately?
Yeah, I understand why people was so excited. I was just, I didn't think that'd be trending, but whatever. But yeah, man, it seemed like Drake kind of rushed this out pretty quick. And like I said earlier, I don't know if it's, a certain type of deal he have now where he allowed to just record something that night and put it out. And I know he probably had that type of power before, but even with Kanye, they kind of draw the line a little bit with him, where they say, "Nah, you got to release this on Friday" type thing. They kind of got a little, "Hey, buddy, just you can't just drop whenever you want" type thing. They kind of said a little something, set a little line in the sand. But I wonder if this new deal with Drake allow him to continue to do shit like that, just drop whenever he wants.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, I think Drake can do whatever he wants, like, period. Like, he could always drop, like, he dropped, if you're reading this, It's Too Late, I think, and under the same circumstances. To be fair, that wasn't an album, but still, it was something that caught everybody by surprise. So Drake could do whatever he wants. I will say the album sounded rushed to me. Just in terms of the vocals, the mixing was just, it didn't sound clean to me. It didn't have the catchy singles that Drake is usually known for on his projects. Like, but then again, you got to factor in he did drop a video like the day after the album came out. I think it was for Falling Back, which I think is the worst song on the album. But
he could, but see, he could have had that song already. That could have just been one of the Lucy's or whatever, and maybe he had a couple more songs that was on that album, around. And he said, "Fuck it, let's get some more songs like this and put them all together or something."
I mean, it's possible. I don't know. Yeah. Like we just don't know. All we can do is speculate. But until he comes out on an interview or whatever and explains himself for this album, we just don't know, man. I think it's too much to be a coincidence that two of the biggest artists of our time just dropped some dance music out of nowhere. So I wonder
if it's possible that he could have had this in the tuck already, and Beyonce just so happened to come out with a dance song that kind of stepped on his whole little rollout or future rollout. So he said, "Fuck it, let me just put this shit out now because it ain't about to be better than mine anyway." So. Or I ain't about to be better than hers. So let me just throw this out before and try to rack the numbers up, I guess.
It's possible. Or maybe he thought that if he dropped this album after Beyonce dropped the dance single, and I don't know how the album gonna sound. Like I doubt it's gonna be a whole dance album, but who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
But maybe he thought that if he waited, people would accuse him of biting Beyonce. So he felt like he had to drop first. Maybe Beyonce is sharking Drake.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
He just said, "Hey, I don't want people to accuse me," because they already accused Drake of that, like hopping on waves and stealing people's swag. And so the Hive would be on his ass if he dropped the dance album after Beyonce dropped some dance shit. So maybe this is his preliminary strike and said, "Fuck it, let me just drop it, get it out the way, just so nobody accuses me of biting," because he's already kind of got that reputation.
Yeah, and see, like that makes sense, but the part that don't make sense is dropping the whole album. Because if that was the case, I would have dropped maybe a little 2-pack or a 3-pack or something.
Yeah,
and just throw that out there. But for the simple fact that he announced this is my 7th studio album or whatever, however he worded it, I'm like, damn, that's that's kind of crazy. So for the simple fact, if that was the case where she heard this one, or he heard this one song from her, or got a tip from what she was releasing, and he just throw the whole album out there like that, that's kind of strange. I wonder if this is chess. Is he doing something that we don't really know yet, and he's just trying to get ahead of it, or he just I don't know, man. This is so weird, man. Both of them put a dance song out like this.
It is. I mean, it's possible we're overthinking it too. It's possible this is just what Drake is on and it's what Beyonce's on. Like, that's possible too, man. I mean, weirder things have happened in the world. So, I mean, I don't know. We could speculate all day. The truth is, until he explains himself or we get more information from the inside, we just don't know, man. We don't know what came first, chicken or the egg, Beyonce or Drake. Like, we just don't know here. So,
how did you feel about? Did you react to this song? How did you feel about the song?
No, I haven't yet. I like the song is catchy. I'll say that much. The beat's catchy. I feel like it did everything the Drake album failed to do. I mean, it was a catchy ass song, some relatable lyrics. Now, I gotta say you are right about Beyonce forcing shit on this song, and I low key feel like Beyonce, like, this was a focus group song. Like a group of people like looked into what the kids are into now and what they're doing. Because there's been so many articles lately about how this generation is quitting their jobs. This generation is just leaving on the job. We have unemployment. We have an employment crisis because this generation doesn't want to work these bad jobs. They want higher pay. They don't want to be overworked, and they just walk out of their job. And Beyonce is like, let me make a song about that.
Yeah,
dog. How could Beyonce talk about a 9-to-5?
Yes.
Okay. When's the last time Beyonce been around regular people?
Yeah.
Let's be real, with a regular job.
And we all know she probably never had a 9-to-5 job before because she was in the game
her whole life, man. She ain't never worked at fucking Wendy's. So like, to this, I feel like because Beyonce needed a song like this. Let's be honest. She had been the Everything Is Love shit was a flop in my eyes because nobody wanted to hear about their rich, happy, lovey-dovey fucking marriage, man. Like, people are struggling out here.
Yeah, and two people. I mean, we messy, man. We want to hear Mary J. Blige going through a breakup. Yep. We want to hear Eminem on drugs. We want to hear nobody in a good place. Like we don't like that. We don't like people getting skinny. We don't like none of that, man. So yeah, we're a little messy. So that song, even though I liked a few songs on there, but it just didn't hit, man. That wasn't it.
Yeah, no, it really wasn't, man. And the tours they were doing together, it was just nobody wanted to see it, man. Like, I'm sure Beyonce stands did, but everybody else, 100%. Like, no. But this is a song like anybody can relate to, like in a regular world, pretty much, you know. So it was smart to put it out. I think Beyonce should stop rapping on songs. That is my personal take. I don't think she's like the anti-Drake. I feel like Drake should stop singing as much, and Beyonce just stop rapping. She always sounds like she's forcing it, and you could tell she's just not a rapper. She don't talk like that in real life, and you could just tell when somebody's faking it, man. So I think she should stop rapping. It's always kind of a cringeworthy moment when she's doing that. I'm outside and we outside.
We back outside.
Yeah, that's just corny, man. But yeah, it was smart to put it out, and I think it's a decent song for what it is. Like you, I won't be adding it to a playlist or going back to it, but I can imagine if it plays at a spot I'm at, I'll be nodding my head to it. You know, it's a catchy ass song, man. So yeah, I mean, the song is fine. The song is fine for what it is. I think it's the type of song she needed at this point. So yeah, man, I think we both agree it's a qualified song for Beyonce. We can go ahead and give it a qualified designation.
Yeah. So I got another question that kind of led to another conversation about these new dance songs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is good for clubs, like not just dance clubs, but clubs period? Because I seen the DJ, I can't remember what DJ it was, but they I seen them tweet out saying how they're kind of happy these dance songs are coming back because that had more people in the club dancing like back in the day. Do you feel like that's true? I feel like we won't ever get that back again. I feel like the whole, the dance club vibes from the from the 80s, 90s, I feel like that won't ever come back. I feel like this song will play, and unless you're actually in a diverse dance club, I just don't see I don't see this being in fucking Carringtons or some shit, and it's gonna get the people on the dance floor dancing. I just feel like people still gonna sit around and be on their phones. I don't think it's gonna change anything. I don't feel like it's gonna bring positivity in music. I think this is just a something that I play and people still gonna be doing the same shit they've been doing.
I mean, I think you're right. And if you want to talk conspiracies, I do think this might be part of a grander conspiracy to get people back in clubs and get people back outside. Because look, and the funny thing is, dog, COVID is still crazy out here, man. One of my friends just caught it, and one of my friends' parents just caught it.
Damn.
So like niggas I know still catching COVID, dog. Like it ain't gone nowhere. And but now the mentality is we need to go back outside. Stop staying cooped up in the house. So get back in there.
Spend some money.
Now you got to go back to your job. A lot of jobs are dropping their work from home policies. New York is getting hit hard with this shit. They're begging people to get back to work. Mm-hmm. And like the jig is being exposed, man. They're trying to say, hey, COVID's not going anywhere. Get your ass back in the club and spend money here. Get your ass back on a fucking subway. Get your ass back on the bus. Get your ass back in Starbucks. You got to go back outside now, man. Stop saying it ain't cool to be cooped up in the house no more.
Yeah.
And I think these songs are playing into that, man. Like to really get the feeling of this song, you got to be around other people.
Yeah.
You can't just be around yourself. So like, I definitely think it could be a plot to get the clubs packed. And I have heard DJs are happy about it because they have been complaining for a while about how all these new songs are so slow. People don't dance no more. But to your point, this ain't gonna make niggas dance, okay?
Yeah.
Them days are over.
No, I haven't I was not a dancer whatsoever, but I didn't hear this song and say, "Ooh, I got to go to a club and dance." And look, this ain't about to be the early 90s where dance music was hot. And we ain't about to be on the dance floor having a good time and sweating. This ain't look, that shit is over, man. Like people first of all, people that was in the club scenes in the 90s, they're old now. They ain't trying to be on the dance floor like that, like it's 1991. Two, people our age, damn sure ain't about to do that. we kind of getting up there too. And we ain't trying to do that. And plus, that was a little before our time. We wasn't in the club when that shit was hot. And even look, man, they can even bring back the whole snap music. Look, we're a little too old for that shit, man. And I don't think these kids, they'll do some TikTok dances, but they ain't about to be in the club twerking and twerking on each other and all that shit. Those days are over, man. I would be shocked if a club scene will be looking like that fucking scene in white chicks or some shit. I doubt that's ever going to happen again, or at least not anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree, man. Now, women do still dance and twerk on each other when they go to the club.
That's different, man.
Yeah, I know it is. They do that for the gram, and they do that to each other only. But it's the glory days of you going solo to a club, or you and your niggas going to a club and picking up and dancing on random women, just pressing up when they twerking, and it's cool. And you grab the hips. And you really get it. Them days are over, dog.
And then they hold you back like this.
Those were beautiful days, and I will cherish them for the rest of my life. But those days are over.
Yeah,
too many phones out. You don't want to risk shit, man.
Women gonna call you weird.
Yep.
They gonna call you.
You'll get exposed. Somebody look at this creep, fucking grabbing. This is rape, shit like that. Fucking put your ass on blast. No, I'm not risking that shit ever, dog. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Days are over.
Yes. I actually seen women in the club where they kind of just standing around, and then I could see them saying, "Hey, get this video of me." And then they dance, they jump on the couch and do something.
Yeah.
All right, this cool.
Go right back. Yeah.
Go back right back to normal. Yeah. So if you was watching Instagram or Snap, you'd be like, damn, they're having a good time. But no, that was only 15 seconds for the gram. So it's not like they in there all night just dancing and twerking. Like, nah, you better off getting that in a little intimate house party.
Yeah.
But not in no club, man. I miss them days, man.
Me too. But look, at least we had them, dog. This new generation ain't got shit, okay?
Yes,
at least we experienced it at its peak.
I wish, man, look, I'm not into the NFTs and all that shit, but I wish we could get an NFT of those days. And relive them days.
Yeah, maybe in the metaverse we can go back in time, man.
Yes.
I don't know.
Man, we used to be sweating. The girls used to be sweating their hair out. They used to be barefoot. It'd be the one girl that be dancing with everybody.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, man, like ain't nobody dance with me yet. Let me dance with her. She dance with it. You'll be damn near standing in line waiting to get the dance from her.
Yep. Let me get my turn in. Grab on the hips. Yep. Dog. I remember, man. It was beautiful.
Yeah. They used to be dancing. All you gotta do is just come around just a little bit. And then
worst thing happened, they leave and it's like no big deal. They don't fucking get in your face about it. Fucking the worst thing. I mean, that rejection hurts, but it's not like what it would be now.
Yeah, you know? No, the worst thing is when she danced with all your guys, all your partners. Yeah. And then when you get to you, she turn around like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh,
like,
that's your homeboys be like, oh, damn, man, why she have to do you like that? And it's just like, oh shit, fuck.
But at least that was just a moment that you could easily get over.
Yeah,
nobody recorded it.
Yeah, like nobody bring it up. Like after the night is over, that's it.
Yep.
Like you'll be lucky to get that girl number. So man, it was the glory days, man.
It really was, man. But no, them days are not coming back. I know everybody's nostalgic for this shit. This is a very nostalgic song. It literally sounds like something ripped from 1993.
Yes.
But it's not gonna bring back them days, man. The days of dancing in the club, the days of doing that type shit is over. That's not gonna change the clout chasing ways of people on the gram now. So
I wish somebody. I wish I can do it where I could just throw a party like that and everybody relive them days, but ain't nobody gonna do it. Ain't nobody gonna do all that. Everybody will dress up like it's 2000, but ain't nobody gonna have those parties like we used to have them.
What you should do, if we really funny experiment, have a party, but everybody got to put their phones in the bag when they come in. So you can't be on your phone when you at the party. I bet you like nobody will come.
I know. Man, niggas be damn near get ready to turn around from the damn comedy show.
Yep.
Comedy show. Oh, they taking. Oh, you gotta put your phone in it, man. I don't know, man. That's crazy. Niggas be ready to cancel them damn tickets. Like, damn, you can't sit in the comedy show for an hour?
No, because it's important that everybody knows they were there to see Dave Chappelle, okay?
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. But so yeah, that'll be the only way, but it's not gonna happen. People too attached to their damn phones, and shit ain't gonna change.
It got to be people like in our age range where, you know, fuck it, let me just put the phone up for like 2 or 3 hours. And even if you wanted to get pictures and all that shit, we can set up a thing where we got the throwaway cameras, we got the fucking we got the little camcorder and all that shit where you at least can take pictures and all that shit, because that be people excuses too. Like, I want to get pictures and all this other stuff. But we gotta relive it just like the 2000s, man. We couldn't just up a phone and record in HD. We had to have the fucking digital camera and all that shit.
Yeah. No, it was harder back in the day, man. But yeah, those were the glory days, man. But yeah, them shits ain't coming back, dog. It is.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, the club era. Rest in peace, early 2000s, snap music.
Yeah.
Niggas cranking the Soulja Boy.
Yeah, what about the club? What about the club names from back in the day? It's like it's shit like Club Earth. You got the Metropolis. You got Club whatever. Like, even those names back in the day was like straight up 2000s.
Yeah, I don't know what clubs are called now, man.
Club Crunk, and it'd be some shit. Velvet Club, Velvet Room, or some shit. So you ain't even got those now. Now the new places now be damn near restaurants.
Yeah.
So let's go to Taste Bar Kitchen. Or it'd be some shit like that. It ain't the same now.
Yeah, it's not, man. It's all a scam just to get bottle service. Here, pay $2,000. Fucking sit in this section.
Yes, that's the other thing. You can't, like, half the times you can't even just go to go. Like, to relax, you got to get a section. You got to pay like $300 or $400 for a section. It's just like, damn, man. Like, remember those days you just pay your $10, and half the time you ain't even had that. So you had to have a homeboy get you in, and all you gotta do is just get in and hit the dance floor.
Now I used to go to the club and the bar like broke as fuck, man. I could get like maybe one drink and that was it. Sometimes my homies would get me. Sometimes I just got to thug it out, dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can't do that shit no more. You got to come with some money.
Have you ever been in a situation where you got there and couldn't get in? And so it's like, damn, like a nigga got to sit in the car now. Or
I don't think I've ever went to anywhere I couldn't get in, but usually I knew. And back then it was mainly just the fucking sneakers that were the problem. So I would carry like a pair of dress shoes just in case we're on that type of bullshit. Now I don't think anybody does a dress shoe.
Yeah, you was on point, man. We used to try to go to places where they try to get in with a fake ID or shit like that. Yeah. And sometimes it'd be one person like, nah, you can't get in. And it's like, oh fuck, like we all the way in fucking Akron.
Yeah.
And so we'd be like, all right, we about to go in for a little bit. We'll be back out. We ain't gonna stay long. Be in that bitch all night. And the nigga be in the car, sleep and shit, pissed because he can't get in. Man,
that's never happened to me, dog. I would find some way to leave. I'm not gonna stay in a car while my niggas having fun in a club. Like I would call somebody to pick me up or something. I'm not gonna sit in a car mad. That's wild, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is like 07, 08. So wild. It's like fuck. Like ain't nobody, like, first of all, ain't nobody had a car but like 1 or 2 people. So it's like, damn, you all the way in Akron, which is like 40 minutes away. And you just got thug it out in the car, man.
Nah, that's wild, man.
Ain't even like you ain't even have a phone like this where you could just get on Instagram or some shit. You'll be in there trying to text a bitch, trying to see what she doing tonight. And trying to set up a couple missions.
That slow ass fucking type 1 3 times today. Hey, how slow ass texting.
Yeah, I hit 2 like 3 times.
Yep. Kids don't know how easy they have it now, man. You could speak into the phone and have this shit type it out for you. We had to thug it out with that fucking number pad shit. And I knew women who were super quick with that shit, man. I never knew how they got so good at it. I knew women who could type as fast as you can on a regular iPod today or iPhone today with that fucking old style texting with the 1 2 3 and the ABC on the 1 and all that shit. It's wild.
Yeah,
but we got way the fuck off track, man.
What the fuck we talking about? We going down memory lane, man.
Yeah,
we talking about millennial 2000 shit. This a perfect transition to the Verzuz because that was damn near the millennial tour.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I got one more quick album review because I did listen to the new Lupe Fiasco album.
He came out.
Yeah, he just dropped something. It's called Drill Music in Zion. I was a little worried about it because I saw he was on T9 Text. Yeah,
that's what it was.
So I was worried because I heard he was on Hot 97. I think it's Hot 97 with Ebro and them. Or is that Hot 95?
That's Hot 97.
Yeah. Ebro, Paul Rosenberg didn't show up and he was clowning on Rosenberg because he had smoke for him or whatever. But so he said he made this album in 3 days, like from concept to finishing it. So I was like, this is going to be one of them weird bullshit Lupe albums with the weird beats on it. But I listened to the album, man, and it's actually really good. The production is really solid. Lyrically, Lupe gonna kill it lyrically. You already know that about him. But like the beats are really cool, man. It's like some jazz infused hip hop shit. Like some good beats and some good production on it. I recommend it, man. If you're a Lupe fan, I don't know if it's gonna convert you if you never heard of him or don't like him. But I mean, if you just want some nice sounding, relaxing, dope beats, dope rhymes to listen to this weekend, I highly recommend you check out this new Lupe Fiasco album. It's called Drill Music in Zion. And I would have to say it's qualified, man.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check that out.
I think you'll like it. I think
the drill music title kind of scared me a little bit.
Yeah.
What the fuck is he trying to do?
Well, it has a theme of him kind of criticizing. There's a couple of songs he talks about how because he's from Chicago.
Yeah.
And he kind of has been vocal about how drill music has gotten the whole scene fucked up over there now. And he's lamenting over the fact that, people are really killing each other over these rhymes and shit. And he talks about that and goes in deep about it. But it's not him over drill beats. So don't worry about that. But Tab, definitely check out the Lupe album, man. I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it a lot. So y'all check it out, man. Make sure you give some real hip hop a chance, Oh yeah, hip hop's dead. That's right. Rap is dead. We're on the house music. So yeah.
Some other new releases. I listened to a little bit of the new Chris Brown album.
Yeah, I saw he dropped.
Yeah. So I only got through 3 songs. It sounded like a Chris Brown album, man. The production sound good so far. So if you're a Chris Brown fan, maybe we need to hit up Jasmine or Jules and get their reaction to it. But
you know how they gonna feel about it.
I know.
You already know.
Yeah.
What's the worst review they have for a Chris Brown album? It's just great. I can't think of anything they would say bad.
It's a good album. It's a good album. It's not better than this one, but it's a good album.
What's really funny is people getting attacked for working with Chris Brown or standing Chris Brown still. I saw Normani got a song with Chris Brown and she all up in the video too. And people were having a breakdown when the video got tweeted out. People were losing their minds.
I know people still hate Chris Brown like that.
Nah, yeah, they do.
Damn.
They do. And Normani fans were really upset about it. They were like, please delete this. Please take yourself off the song. Yeah. No, Twitter is bad about it, man. I like in a real world, Yeah, people still love Chris Brown. Same with R. Kelly.
Yeah, he R. Kelly for real, man.
Yeah. No, I think he's even, I don't want to say worse, but like
More
he's done
polarizing.
not even that, because like the industry abandoned R. Kelly.
Yeah.
And the industry, a lot of the industry still fucks with Chris Brown.
Yeah.
No, I don't think anybody has said fuck Chris Brown, like who's really relevant in the industry. Drake worked with him. Rihanna worked with him after he beat her ass. Like all these female artists have worked with him. Ella May, like everybody still fuck with Chris Brown. It's crazy.
I haven't seen a celebrity out and about that said, "Nah, I'm cool on Chris Brown for what he did." It's wild. Do you think you could compare it to early? I don't want to say early R. Kelly, but maybe early 2000s R. Kelly.
Yes, 100%, definitely.
Yeah, because I mean I was a little younger then, and obviously it wasn't no internet and all that stuff. But I felt like nobody was like, "Hey, cancel R. Kelly," outside, or at least not people in the industry, because he was still the hottest R&B artist out there. He was writing a lot of music and making a lot of money. So, shit, Jay-Z did a whole album with him, or two.
Yeah.
So he was still out here producing and making music.
Yeah, no, it's definitely that. I mean, with the R. Kelly thing, people have been known. The case done happened. The video was out there.
Yeah,
everybody knew about this shit with the Leah. They knew about the allegations, and Lady Gaga still worked with him.
Yeah, and that was recent.
Yeah, that was fairly recent.
Yeah,
did a performance on SNL and everything with the nigga.
Yeah, I was in radio when that song came out.
And then when the Surviving R. Kelly documentary came out, suddenly it was nobody wanted to be associated. She had the song taken down and shit. Like, it's too late now. But okay. So
like, you made your money off of him.
I think when somebody makes the Chris Brown documentary, it might get some run to where people are like, okay, hold up. But until that, seeing is believing for people, and people forget we have a short term, even though with the internet, you think things will be forever. People have a short memory on the internet.
Yeah. And so, I think Chris Brown is way too powerful and valuable right now.
Yeah.
Because let's say it was two women that tried to come out with a documentary or something. He'll get that shut down immediately.
Yeah, his fans would attack them endlessly.
Yeah, there's no way he could do that. But like I told Jasmine this on this podcast, it's gonna be a time where he might not be the hottest R&B artist anymore. Where the music ain't hitting. He's in a rough place because only a few people last a long time. Like, it's not a lot of Beyonces, it's not a lot of Jay-Z's. If it get to a point where his music don't hit anymore, people gonna be like, I don't need to work with him. Mm-hmm. And that's when the documentary is gonna come out. Mm-hmm. And then that's easy money for people to say, I ain't making no songs with him. And he did this, he did that to this woman. And it'd be easy for artists to say, nah, take me off of that Chris Brown song. And that's when the cancellation stuff would happen. But right now, man, he's still putting out good music. He's he's doing a lot right now and making a lot of money. So there's no way in hell they gonna try that.
Yeah, no, he's good now. He's 33 years old, man. He's still young.
Damn, that's it.
He's 33. I thought he was older too. He's 33 years old, man.
Yeah, damn, we the same age.
Yeah, he's 2 years younger than me. So damn. I would say he's got about 7 more years. Once he hit 40, the documentaries are gonna start rolling.
Yeah, because even look at this, man, because he still make the same type of music. Mm-hmm. Eventually, people gonna get a little bored with that.
I'm surprised. Gonna be a sex symbol forever. That's the thing. Yeah, women still love him, but
I'm surprised people not really bored with him now, because he been doing the same shit since he was 16, 17. But it's gonna get to a point where he gonna be stuck in a hard place where what type of music can I make? And my fans are not the same fans anymore. They kind of moved on a little bit. So it's gonna get to that point where his music ain't gonna be hitting anymore, and you're gonna be trying something different that ain't gonna work. And it's not like this little not innocent, but this ain't the young Chris Brown no more. Because that's the same thing with R. Kelly. All the women love R. Kelly. Mm-hmm. He was walking around with his shirt off and all that shit. Once he got older, man, a lot of people dipped. It was only a few of the R. Kelly stans, but a lot of people, they was cool. They moved on. So that's what kind of fucked him up too, where he wasn't making no money.
Yeah, man. We'll see. Like I said, I think he got until about 40 years old when he started falling off, when he started looking a little older in the face, when his fans ain't got their own kids and lives and they ain't online 24/7
and all that stuff.
Yeah. He's gonna have some trouble, man. So, but he's good now. Everybody still fuck with him. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm sure his album was well received by his fans because all of them are.
Yeah.
Anything else release this week? I think that about does it for the new releases.
Yeah.
So we can go ahead and get into this. Something dropped I wanted to say, but I can't fucking remember. Anyway, who cares? Let's talk about. Go ahead.
Yeah. Chris Brown dropped. French Montana and Harry Fraud dropped.
Okay.
Louis Ray. I don't know if you hit the Louis Ray. I think he's a Detroit rapper. He dropped something. I don't know if you hit the Giveon R&B artist.
Yeah, I know Giveon.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah, Eminem coming out with the curtain call too. Yeah, I know you're excited about that one.
Wait, like more greatest hits?
I think this curtain call too. I think it's a sequel, I guess.
But the curtain call one was a compilation album.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So he's doing like another compilation album of hits he's had since then, because there ain't been too many.
I ain't even listening to Curtain Call 1.
Yeah.
I think I was off the bandwagon at that point.
Yeah, no, that was just a compilation album of his old hits. So I guess he's doing another compilation with some of the newer hits he got. I don't know. But all right, good for him. So yeah, let's talk about this damn versus, man.
Yeah.
It was Mario and Omarion. I forgot this was even announced. And then I saw people talking about it online. I'm like, oh, I guess it's going down. I did not watch it. I did see some clips, and from the clips I saw, I think it's about time to end versus.
You've been saying that for like 2 months, man.
Dog, like I've never seen a display of coonery like this from some of these clips, dog. Like, what the fuck are we doing, dog? This is worse than like the Source Awards, nigga. Like, what are we doing out here, dog? Like, I seen these niggas singing to Watermelon. They took Watermelon out and were singing to it while eating a watermelon. Man. Dog, I thought next day was gonna do some blackface or some shit, and I don't know, eat some fried chicken next. Do the Popeyes song. Remember that fucking commercial with the nigga singing with a bucket of chicken in his hand? I got Popeyes. Have you seen that shit?
Oh, yeah.
Baby, I got Popeyes. I thought we was in for a Popeye song at some point, man.
And that was fucking recent, man. That wasn't even
that was like 2 years ago, man.
1 year ago. I swear I felt like I heard that last night, man.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Dog, that was the most shameful shit I'd seen. Niggas singing about Popeyes. And yeah, I thought that's the type of time they were going to be on to that fucking watermelon thing.
Man, Popeye, it's crazy because the way they market Popeyes, they market it like it's black owned and shit. They got the older black woman, like she the face of it.
Yeah.
And you'll think like for the longest, I was like, let me go to Popeyes because that's black and that type of thing. Popeyes is not black owned, man.
Yes.
They marketing it like it's that fucking syrup with the older black lady on the syrup.
Mm-hmm. Aunt Jemima. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that is crazy, man.
Yeah. And Popeyes don't taste like if you really think about it, they don't taste like black food.
No,
like,
it's not.
Go to any place.
Black cheese ain't black.
The rice and beans don't taste like black people rice and beans. The chicken don't taste like black people fried chicken. Like it don't taste like black food, dog.
No,
we associate that with blackness somehow. It's crazy. They don't pull the rug over us, man. Really.
Yes.
We've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray by this marketing campaign.
Yeah.
Same thing with McDonald's. Like McDonald's has become synonymous with black food, dog. All the commercials about McDonald's are black.
Yes.
Think about it.
And they only get rappers now, man.
They had Bad Bunny was the only non-black rapper they had.
And that's still a minority.
Yeah.
Reach out to the Hispanics. I feel like somebody a light bulb just hit over their head. Ooh, we could get all the black people. If I start getting all the rappers, let's get every rap. Let's get Sweetie. Let's get Travis Scott. I'm like, what?
No, McDonald's has been marketing to black people since like the 70s, dog. Like this has been going on for a long time. I was watching this movie called Black Belt Jones with Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly was a black guy from Enter the Dragon with Bruce Lee, and he had this big ass afro, and he was his own little fucking action star. And he had my mom loved him back in the day. And there's a scene where he's talking to the bad guy on the phone and he got like the whole hood behind him. And he tells everybody behind him, hey, let's go get McDonald's. And everybody's like, yeah, the crowd goes crazy behind him. He's like, it's McDonald's, dog. McDonald's been marketing to black people since like the 70s, man. So this has been a thing with them. But yeah,
all the McDonald raps,
and that's not no black food either, man. But it's crazy.
And the thing is, it's not even just McDonald's now. Everybody catching up Burger King. Hey, let's get Nelly.
Yep.
And before that, Mary J. Blige. Let's have her sing about a chicken sandwich.
Yep. Let's drop a Wendy's mixtape.
Yes.
Like what the fuck?
Yes, and we don't even hear about fucking no rock music or dance music for McDonald's or anything like that. It's all strictly urban music, hip hop and R&B.
Yeah,
Popeye said, "Hey, let's get Meg Thee Stallion. Let's get her hottie sauce." Let me be clear, man. Shout out to the rappers that's getting the money. Look, I'm not mad if they come to us talking about a Gems and Juice meal or some shit.
We're gonna be in it.
I ain't about to turn it down. But why y'all ain't marketing to fucking Miley Cyrus or some shit?
Why ain't Harry Styles got a fucking burger?
Yes,
or a meal.
Yes, why Jonas? You ain't hear nothing about the Jonas Brothers.
Billie Eilish. Eilish got like a Nike line, but she ain't got no fucking McDonald's meal or a Popeyes meal.
She'll be perfect for a fucking Happy Meal, man. Everybody going to grab that shit.
Yeah, but no, it's only the Negro shit, man. It's only the black people.
No Dua Lipa. No Dua Lipa. No shit.
Yep. Tab asked, did ODB get arrested at McDonald's? Probably, but he got arrested a lot of places. So I wouldn't be surprised.
And I think R. Kelly, that was his favorite spot too. He used to eat at the McDonald's right by school.
Michael Jordan too. I forgot who said it. I want to say the co-writer for Chappelle's show. What's his name? Brendan something. I forget his fucking name. Is a white guy. And I want to say he said something about this, but apparently back in the day, Michael Jordan only ate McDonald's.
Damn.
Because I guess he had a deal with McDonald's.
He did have an endorsement, yeah.
And he thought that was the only food he was allowed to eat. Kind of like how when you with Nike, you can only wear Nike.
Yeah.
Like you can't wear nothing else.
Yeah.
I think he thought he could only eat McDonald's. So he used to eat McDonald's every single day.
Damn.
And it's like, dog, and this is the greatest basketball player of all time, playing at the highest level, eat McDonald's every single day, man. That shit wild.
Yeah.
Holly Rachel Worshipper says Jack Harlow has a KFC culture appropriation meal. Yeah, he probably does. I wouldn't be surprised if Jack Harlow like volunteered himself to have a fucking Popeyes meal or some shit.
Yeah.
It would be KFC, not Popeyes. But I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to do something like that.
He got KFC. He do got KFC something, and then plus
he does.
And he from Kentucky, so I kind of understood that because it was a Kentucky connection, but it still didn't go over good. People was kind of pissed about that, and I think people I think he came out sometime recently saying how he loved black women.
I did see that.
I don't even know where that came from.
Because he's allegedly dating Lori Harvey.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know about all that.
Yeah.
Andre Eagle says Mike was dropping 60 on niggas and he was eating the McRib. Yeah, I know, right?
For real.
Like niggas these days got a whole diet plan. They only eat a certain amount. This fool was going to get a Whopper, fucking a quarter pounder with cheese.
This nigga balling on a Happy Meal and shit.
Yep. And a fucking big size fry, man. That's wild. But Jack Harlow for Cracker Barrel, that would be too on the nose, but that would be hilarious.
Yeah, he might fuck around Cracker Barrel. He might get canceled for Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
You might want to stay away from Cracker Barrel.
I don't know why anybody would be mad about Jack Harlow at KFC though. I mean, that's already considered like the white people chicken spot.
Yeah, so, and plus he from Kentucky though.
Yeah,
it
makes
so
sense.
It's kinda, but I don't get it. I guess people kind of associate KFC with black or chicken in general. I think it's just
we got the copyright and trademark
of fried chicken.
Okay?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It look weird when a white person talk about fried chicken.
That's dog. I know a lot of comedians have touched on this already, so it's nothing new. But like, when did fried chicken become a black thing? Everybody likes fried chicken, man.
Yes.
I don't think I've met anybody unless vegan.
You like a health freak or something like that. Yeah,
and even them, dog. Only people who don't like fried chicken are like vegetarians or vegans or some shit who don't eat meat. Period. I don't know anybody who eat meat and don't like fried chicken.
Yeah,
like black, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican. I've never met anybody who don't like fried chicken who likes meat. So I don't know when it became like a black thing.
Yeah,
just wild.
Shout out to the Breakfast Club. Shout out to the owner Marcus. He got some of the best fried chicken in the city, in my opinion, best chicken and waffles. Mm-hmm. But every time I go there, man, it's a bunch of white people there.
Yeah,
so it's not like a thing where we invented the fried chicken and we only like fried chicken and nobody else do. Like, no, that's kind of a thing that I feel like everybody like.
I don't get it, man. I don't get where that became. Same thing with watermelon. I don't understand how these things became like racially attached to black people. I feel like there are certain things I know only black people eat, like chitlins. Okay, that type of shit I can't put on anybody but black people. But things like watermelon, things like fried chicken, I don't know how that became stereotypically black shit because everybody likes watermelon and fried chicken, man. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Dog, this is the most random ass podcast I think we've ever had. I'm having a good time though, man.
Yeah.
We're just talking about anything. Tab says, bro, my grandparents are from Kansas City and they love fried chicken. Yeah, everybody loves fried chicken, man.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Rarely do you see somebody say, "Ugh, fried chicken, that's nasty."
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand with chitlins, I understand with shit like pig feet.
Yeah, oxtail, stuff like that, frog legs.
Yeah, but to be honest, even greens, people always associate greens with, just black people. There's a lot of white people that like greens. They might cook it a little different, but like greens ain't just, black folks. I never looked at it as just, we the inventors of greens.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it, man. I don't know, but yeah, like I said, this is the most random episode of the podcast maybe ever. We have gotten way out topic several times.
This conversation started because Omarion was fucking eating
watermelon, and then we just went down a rabbit hole. But fuck it. All right, so let's get back to the verses, man. Like I said, I didn't watch the verses. I just saw the clips and I thought they were hilarious. I saw some Ray J clips that were funny too, but Figgy, you actually watched some of this, so I want to get your take on it. Was it as bad as it looked on social media?
It was worse. I think it was worse than it looked. So the whole verses, I want to say this was the first time they actually had an opener to the main event. So the verses was Omarion versus Mario, and they had an opening act, which were 4 other R&B artists. Which I thought it was sketchy from the beginning because don't nobody want to be considered the opening act. Like artists get funny acting when it comes to a regular show and them being the opening act to another current artist. So, a versus is kind of macho where, people want their own verses. They feel like they the best. So you got some R&B artists opening up for another R&B artist in the verses. That was already sketchy. So just imagine, being I feel like we got the best podcast in the world. Just imagine opening up for another podcast. We think we better than them or on the same level as. It's like, what the fuck? Like, that's kind of offensive a little bit, unless you're a good sport. But so the opening act was Bobby Valentino and Ray J teamed up going against Lil Sammy. He don't like to be called Lil Sammy now.
Oh, he's Sammy now. Okay.
Yeah.
Moss.
Yeah. They're in the verses, nigga. I guess somebody called him Lil Sammy. Nigga, this big Sammy. Don't drop that little shit. This big Sammy. I'll get to Sammy in a minute. But Ray J and Bobby Valentino took on Sammy and Pleasure P of Pretty Ricky. So this was like straight up 2000s R&B. If you grew up in the 2000s and you love the R&B scene, you was excited for this verses. So the way they had it was somebody like I think Bobby Valentino might have went first. No, you know what? It was Sammy that went first. So Sammy went first. He played whatever song. And then the other team, Bobby Valentino, he went. And then Pleasure P went. And then Ray J went. So they were all kind of taking turns. Dog, this versus lasts for 2 hours, man. This shit was 2 hours. And most of the time they were talking shit, man. I don't know if they were trying to, I don't know if they was dead serious. I think they was dead serious. But they were just too much smack talking. They say, oh, don't nobody know that song? And here's a real R&B song. And they was just too much shit talking. Sammy might have been the most irritating person on that stage. I did not think he'd be talking that much shit, man. This is the dude with the least amount of hits on this stage. Say what you want about Ray J. He got a lot of hits. He got a lot of songs. Bobby Valentino, he got a lot of songs for his career. Shit, Pleasure P, man, he got Pretty Ricky. Sammy was the one talking the most shit out of all of them, man. It was so damn irritating. He was talking about how he got these hits and can't nobody fuck with me on the R&B shit. It was a lot of arguing back and forth to the point I thought somebody was going to eventually fight. It was that intense. But apparently everybody was cool. But Ray J, man, first of all, Ray J, I don't know if he could sing for real, But this dude, so One Wish came up and he started singing it.
Mm-hmm.
And all three other R&B artists start chiming in, singing it too. So he was
I saw
irritated.
that part. Yeah.
So he was a little irritated. And it was just a hot mess, man. They was arguing back and forth. Pleasure P, he was a little spicy too, man. He was sitting there calling. Now he was saying, "Hey, this is the, I got, I'm the best one out here on this stage." He was saying how the verses they were currently doing, this is better than the one that y'all waiting on coming up next. So he was pretty much shitting on everybody, man. It was weird, man. I think this was a bad idea from the beginning. I think they should. We talked about how they should just end the verses, but if they're gonna continue to do this, they do not need to do an opener verses ever again, man, because they took way too much time. Dog, I went to bed. I didn't even see the Omarion and Mario Verzuz. I was done. It was 10 o'clock, and by the way, D. Ray Davis, he was the host. He got lost in the sauce because all the other niggas was on stage talking too much. So he completely lost control of the situation where they just going back and forth. They talking over other people's songs. Ray J was getting pissed because Sammy kept talking during his song and, hey, y'all niggas need to shut the fuck up, blah, blah. It was too much going on, man. And I did not expect this from some R&B niggas, man. Like at least Dipset and Locks, they, you kind of expect that from them because it's hip hop. They super competitive. They talk a lot of shit. But these R&B niggas, man, I don't know if they just feel like they got a lot to prove or what. But it was just too much shit talking, man. I just wanted them to shut the fuck up and just perform. And my overall thought of this versus, because I ain't really see the other one. This versus, man, none of them niggas can't sing. Them niggas sounding awful. Bobby Valentino sound somewhat okay, but man, I don't know what was going on with the mic check or what, but they sounded awful. Ray J sounded awful, and they were all they was talking about, oh, let's do a sing off. Let's see who's. I'm like, no, no, y'all need to get the fuck off the stage. And then they got pissed because apparently, I guess they started rushing them to hurry up because it was 10 o'clock and them niggas still out here trying to perform their songs. And that was another bad idea because they got a lot of songs all together, and all of them, obviously they weren't going to perform everything. Unless it was Sammy. Sammy probably got all of his shit, but they was all trying to perform everything and. They was pissed because they was kind of getting rushed off the stage. It's like y'all not even the opening act. Like get the fuck off the stage. Like y'all being irritating. So it was a bad versus. I ain't gonna lie. This might be the worst one. It was terrible. Like it's one thing if you putting on a good show, but they wasn't putting on a good show. It was doing way too much smack talking. The singing didn't sound good at all. It was terrible, man. It was awful. And we know after all of these verses, after a good verses, the next morning you usually go to your streaming service and bump that playlist. I never want to hear none of these songs ever. This is worse than the Dipset treatment because after the Dipset ass whooping, like I ain't listened to Dipset in a long time. I listened to a couple songs. But it don't hit the same.
It don't hit the same.
Yeah, but this one, I'm like, man, I don't never want to hear One Wish again. I don't want to hear no Bobby Valentino shit. Like this shit was so bad. It was irritating. And yeah, man, it was awful.
Yeah, man, it seemed bad. I heard it was just a mess. I heard Timbaland and Swizz Beatz didn't even want to be connected to it. Like, why y'all got my name involved in this?
Yeah.
And it kind of sounds like some Making the Band type shit, dog. Like, remember when Making the Band, when Diddy would have R&B groups singing off to each other and having beef and shit. That's too, man, that shit's silly.
It was so bad, man. And then I seen a little piece of the Omarion and Mario one.
Mm-hmm.
And first of all, they had a little intermission where they took another 10 to 15 minutes. So it's like, motherfucker, like I know y'all in LA, but damn, we in Houston, people on the East Coast. It's 10 o'clock and they still waiting on Omarion and shit. And then you had D-Ray Davis filibustering. Mm-hmm. He like, they'll be out in a minute, and he's trying to crack jokes. He trying to rap and all this shit. It's just like, man, this is awful, man. It was nothing but bad comments in the comment section. And once Omarion got out there, man, it was rough. He was focused more on fucking dancing than actually performing. It was bad. The only good thing I heard about this versus was Mario. I heard Mario killed it. Mario had the better show, and which was crazy because I remember I brought up earlier, a lot of people had Mario getting his ass whooped in this versus. Mm-hmm. I ain't seen nobody say he will win. And the same thing with Sammy and Pleasure P. People say they won. People say they were better. But yeah, man, this versus was bad. I think the only good highlight was Mario. I heard he put on a good show. He was singing good. And then as far as the clips too, I did see a clip of Jeremiah the singer.
Yeah.
He got on stage. I don't know if you've seen this, but this dude was singing with no music. It sounded horrific to the point people was on stage. I think Mario was on stage clowning this dude. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up. But Mario was on stage clowning this dude, like, man, be quiet. Like, dog, this dude can't sing. He was actually saying that on stage. It was bad, man. It was so bad.
Yeah, I'm kind of
real quick.
I'm kind of surprised that they sang without backing tracks, because I get pissed when rappers have the backing tracks because you're just rapping, man. But singing, like, look, the mix is not going to be right. A lot of these people are studio artists. They only sound good in the studio. I don't think any of these people are like any of the great voices in R&B that you would mention and bring up. They have good songs, but I'm surprised they actually sang live like that and cut the music off to show their singing. I don't know if it's just years of being delusional, but yeah, that's a shocking event, man. I can't believe they actually thought they could sing like that.
Yeah, all right, let me play this clip real quick.
Don't bring no more artists out here singing off key and shit, man. Sounding crazy.
Mario.
Sounding crazy.
Stop it.
Sounding like a fucking
boys. Mario, they going at it.
We ain't done.
They going at it.
Go ahead, tell them.
Both of y'all sound like.
I think this was after.
Yeah, seemed like it.
He told you no more of them songs. You told him come out that hot coat.
The vocals are.
D-Ray look crazy too. I don't like them braids, man. What's he doing?
Yeah.
So.
Well, Instagram only let you go live about 4 hours, and we had 4.5.
Wait, hold on. Let me try to find the one where he was actually singing, because it was bad. Like, you would have thought it was a fucking joke.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised, man.
Yeah, it was rough. Really bad.
That's rough, man. Yeah, I think it's about time. I'm tired of people forcing the beef and being all aggressive in these verses. Like, it's one thing if it's natural, like with Locks and with Dipset, because they're New York niggas and that's just how they are. But when it's people who don't even know each other, like having beef over singing, like this shit's, y'all just trying to make a viral moment, man. It comes off as forced and corny.
Yeah.
You find it?
Yeah. I think this is it.
Oh, God.
Y'all niggas so crazy.
Tried that we could. Somewhere to climb.
Oh, God.
As long as you were.
Hey, yo, stop.
That dog, that sound like Ice JJ Fish, man. What the hell was that?
Yes,
that was
that's
rough.
exactly what it sounds like. Yeah, and he's an R&B artist, man.
Yes.
And look, I know it's different in the studio, but damn, you should be able to sing. Like, if somebody told you to sing on stage, if some technical difficulties happen, you should be able to sing and hold a note or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dog, this ain't.
No, that was bad, dog. That
like,
sounded like us trying to sing.
I expect that from somebody like a Playboy Cardi or something. Somebody that's not a real singer that be using a lot of auto-tune.
Mm-hmm.
That was bad, man. That was awful.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. Yeah, I think it's about time for Verzuz to wrap it up. It's
gotta wrap this shit up.
Yeah, wrap it up then.
Wrap it up then.
Because I mean, at this point, this is just a mess, man. And it's very clear that they have run out of people to have a good Verzuz with. I think we've seen all the good matchups now. And like we mentioned earlier, the thought of Memphis Bleek and Joel Santana is just that the thought puts me to sleep, man. I have trouble sleeping. All I gotta do to have an easier time sleeping is imagine watching a Memphis Bleek and Joel Santana Verzuz.
Yeah.
Like, who want to hear 20 songs from either of them at this point in their life, dog? Come on, man.
Yeah. And the crazy part is Joel Santana is the one calling them out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you ain't even remember the words to your song, the lyrics to your song.
He was probably the worst on stage out of everybody.
Yes. That might have been the first time he been on stage in over 20 years, man. That was bad. That was so bad. And he got the nerve to call out Memphis Bleek. I think Memphis Bleek might have a little better catalog than him, or at least stage performance. Like,
I mean, Memphis Bleek been Jay-Z's hype man for like 20 years, dog.
Yeah.
He could definitely rap on stage.
Yeah, and I know Memphis Bleek get a bad rap because people was calling him the next Jay-Z and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But he got some hard ass songs, man. Joel's gonna have to be in that diplomatic immunity the whole time because he think it's like a walk in the park and shit. Like, I don't know about that, man. Like, dog, you need to focus on performing, man.
Yeah, no, that would be a nightmare. Joel's cannot perform. Like, he looked terrible on stage. Didn't even know his simple ass lyrics. It's not like he was a fucking lyricist, dog.
Yeah.
A lot of times he was rhyming the same words together for like an entire verse. Okay. Yeah. So, and he couldn't even remember that. So nobody want to see that.
He ain't fucking Bone Thugs and Harmony where he.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody want to see that, man. And I like Memphis Bleek. I don't want to see him in the Verzuz, dog. Like, maybe if they did like a whole like state property or like Beanie Siegel and Freeway and Rock versus somebody else, that would be cool. Yeah. But I don't want to see Memphis Bleek up there solo versus somebody, man. Come on, dog. Like, that's gonna have 50 viewers. Nobody want to see that bullshit.
That'd be strictly New York, man.
Yeah, definitely.
We're doing this for New York. This is good for the city.
40 and up New Yorkers. So nah, miss me with that, dog.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. But
I hope not.
I do think just the whole Verzuz thing, I do think that make a good conversation because remember back in the day we used to say, Jay-Z battling who will win between Jay-Z and DMX, or who will win between Nas and Raekwon. I think the new Verzuz thing conversation is that, where who would you take in the Verzuz between Michael Jackson and Prince, or I feel like that's just the easy conversation. Yeah. And plus these rappers that actually trying to set it up, I feel like they're just trying to get a bag. So,
but that's the thing, like that, even that discussion is old because we've been having that discussion since the beginning of Music Just Talk.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it always goes to who got the deeper bag of hits. But nobody ever takes into account how people perform in 2022. And that's the most important thing. But whenever people talk about these hypothetical versus battles, they always say, what's he going to do if Jay play Takeover? or some shit like that. So it's always some goofy shit like that is just a boring debate in general, because we've been having the who's better than who talk since the beginning of time, since the beginning of music, man. So even that's getting old.
Yeah, because obviously, like Jay-Z got a better catalog than everybody. But still, you got to look at who played what. Jay-Z will win regardless. I think he's a good performer and all that shit. Mm-hmm. But even with the recent verses, Omarion have a better catalog than Mario. He was in B2K. He was in all type of shit. So he had a damn good career. But you see people say he lost. He wasn't good up there. So yeah, man, it like we could debate catalogs all day long, but with the versus shit, it's all about what you do up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think after at least after this versus, people, if they ever have another one, it ain't no point of debating the catalog unless it's like two people that are the same.
Yeah.
Ain't no point of sitting there saying, oh no, he'll sweep this person because he got these songs, this song, this. That shit clearly don't matter because Marion got his ass whooped up there. You see Dipset got their ass whooped up there. So it clearly don't matter.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. But that's all people talk about whenever something gets announced, or people want to talk about hypotheticals, is who got more hits and what so-and-so gonna play when so-and-so plays this song. So
yeah,
I don't know. Everything about versus is just boring to me now. The hypothetical debates, the predictions about who's gonna beat who, and the actual performance itself, which never lives up to what we think is gonna be.
Yeah.
It really peaked with the Lox versus Dipset.
Yeah.
And everything since then has been downhill. So I know there's money in it. I know they'll continue it at least throughout this year. But I think they need to go ahead and just call it a day with this fucking versus shit, man. Wrap it up. It was a good run, but we've seen the best of it. And now it's like a race to see which one's going to be the worst at this point. So, yeah. So we'll see. I'm sure there'll be some more announced. We'll react to them. But as far as unless something huge gets announced, which I'm starting to doubt we'll see anything with anybody relevant. But unless something huge gets announced, I'm done watching versus, man. I'm not going to tune in for this shit anymore.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe there'll be at least one more surprise with somebody big. But I don't know. I'm starting to lose confidence. I've been lost confidence.
Yeah, I wasn't even gonna watch this, but the wifey wanted to see it, and I was peeping at it because I wanted to talk about it on the podcast a little bit.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think that's it, man. Unless it's like Jay-Z versus Nas, something like that, which probably won't happen.
Nicki Minaj versus Lil Kim was being teased for a while. I would definitely watch that. But anything else like Memphis Bleak and Jewels, no. Yeah. No way.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some sports, man. The NBA draft happened also earlier this week. The Rockets chose third overall, and they selected a disappointed looking Jabari Smith. Why are niggas upset about going at third, man? Is this a new thing? If I just noticed this, or has it been a thing for a long time? Because I don't recall Michael Jordan being really mad. I mean, he carried a chip on his shoulder for everything, but I don't remember him saying that was a chip on his shoulder being picked third overall. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed like everybody, I know fucking Jalen Green last year was upset being picked third. And now Jabari Smith is upset about it too. Is this a new thing, or has this been going on? I
think it been going on, but we used to see it when somebody that was supposed to be top 5, when they slide in the draft and it's like the 20th, and they sitting in there, bored as hell and pissed. That's when you usually see it, where you could tell they're pissed. But now it's like, like even Chet Holmgren looked kind of pissed. He's sitting there at 2. It's just like, what the fuck? Like, dog. Like, dog, it's not that fucking big of a deal, man. Like, I don't think the money is that big of a difference. Or, ain't like you going to the fucking Golden State Warriors. I mean, like, damn, it's either Orlando. What was the other team? Sacramento? No, it was Sacramento. I think it was. I don't even know who the second team was. Oh, OKC. Like, dog, it's either OKC, Orlando, or Houston, man. Like, why is y'all fucking act like y'all pissed?
Yeah. I don't get it, because it's like you said, there's people who slide in the draft. I know, like, Draymond Green remembers everybody who was drafted ahead of him and all that shit.
Or even, like, take it to the NFL, people like Aaron Rodgers. He was pissed.
Yeah.
And the NFL draft is way longer than the NBA draft. So he's sitting in the back probably pissed because he was projected to go like 1, 2, or 3. And with those, I think the Browns passed up on him and all that shit. He didn't go to like 25th. So yeah, and he had to sit behind fucking Brett Favre. So you could tell he mentioned it in the fucking in the little post draft interview. So yeah, and you see the rest is history. But like, dog, like they passed on you at 1.
Ridiculous. And like, when's the last time a number 1 pick has been like a real superstar? Like, so like Jason Tatum was picked 3rd. Markelle Fultz and fucking Lonzo Ball went over him. So are niggas still acting like number 1 is the end all be all pick?
It been more buzz that number 1 than anything else.
Exactly. Like, why would you even want that pressure? It's not like you're gonna lose money by being the 3rd pick.
Exactly.
If you ball, man. It's like, you don't get paid if you show out. But when you have the number 1 pick, like, you have to ball. When you have that on you, otherwise you're going to be put up there with the bus.
Yeah.
Especially if somebody below you is way better than you. So me personally, I'd rather be number 3 and go to Houston than be a number 1 and be the guy expected to turn the whole franchise around.
It's
I don't get it.
I think people getting a little spoiled, man.
Entitlement, this damn Generation Z. But anyway, that aside, man, how do you feel about the pick? How do you feel about the Rockets draft picks? I don't know what the Cleveland Cavaliers picked, but how do you feel about the draft in general, man?
I thought the Rockets did a good job in this draft, man. I feel like they got some really good players. They got Jabari Smith, and I honestly, the talk going into the draft was Paolo Banchero. A lot of them had him going number 3 to the Rockets, and you could tell the Rockets actually wanted him. And so it was a turn of events, and Orlando took him number 1 overall because it was rumors that Jabari Smith was going 1, and at some point they was teasing Chet Holmgren, the skinny white dude, going 1. But yeah, man, I think the Rockets, they got a good player in Jabari Smith. So I'm excited to see him. They got some other players too. They had 3 first-round picks. So I think they did pretty good, man. It's still a rebuild, so it's too early to tell. But man, the past 2 drafts, they got 6 first-round picks. So I don't know how all of them gonna get minutes and all that stuff.
Yeah,
but it's a rebuild, man. It's a young team. It'd be cool. It's always good to watch young players like this, but I wouldn't bet all my money that they should be in the play-in or anything like that or make the playoffs. But it'd be cool to watch. It's always a good feeling to watch a top 5 pick on your team. So that give you a reason to go. You had Jalen Green last year. So yeah, man, I think they did pretty good this year.
I mean, I don't know if I'm just a hater, but I'm starting to lose patience with this rebuild shit, man. I know it's already been like 2 years. Dog, how long do we have to wait? Will I be 40 before the Rockets win again? Everybody in this team is fucking 19, 20 years old, man.
See, y'all Houston fans, y'all born and raised Rocket fans are spoiled. Y'all never really had to go through a real rebuild. Daryl Morey never rebuilt that team. He was always trying to win, and which is a good thing. But y'all never been through a true rebuild like this before. So, and it ain't gonna happen in 2 years. But I would say probably maybe 4 years. See, and it also depends how if they hit on their picks. Because let's say, they got 6 first rounders on this team already. Let's say maybe 2 of them hit, where 2 of them are actually really good. Then you kind of working with something where you can, spend a little money in free agency and build something. But if they don't hit, then, it's going to be rough. But I think they got 6. I don't think they're going to have 6 awful first rounders. So I think, it might take maybe I would say 4 years.
Oh God, that's it. 4 years.
It's a lot of look, man. I was a Cavs fan, so I know.
Y'all have won. Okay, recently.
One time in fucking 52 years.
Look, at least it's recent. Okay, at least you can remember. At least you were old enough to go and fucking drink. When when the Rockets won, I was a little baby, man. Okay, yeah. I barely remember that shit.
But see, you gotta look at it too, man. I came from a city or a team where you always get the first overall pick and all this other shit, or a top 5 pick. Those players eventually become good and leave your ass and go to Houston or go to a big market. So we were always fucking rebuilding. And it got to the point where we know this person, we ain't going to keep this person. So they trade them for some more young players or draft picks. So you was always fucking rebuilding, man. And that shit was irritating. So I don't think Houston will ever be that type of team. It's a big market. You got a owner that want to win. So I think, they had to blow up that whole James Harden shit, man. They was trying. Daryl Morey tried his best to beat the Warriors and couldn't. So I think he had to blow it up, and they had to start fresh. But I don't think it's gonna be that long, man. It ain't a situation like the Cavs where it never happened. So I think. Look, I'll give it 4 years. You at least be in the playoffs, or you'll be a young team that's up and coming. And then also, I think it depends on the damn coach. You don't know what you got in this coach, man. He came into a shitty situation, so I don't even know. Him is kind of a make it break it year for him, which is a little bit unfair because it's like, damn, he came in with James Harden and Russell Westbrook, and now he got nothing but 19 and 20-year-olds. So this year, if they don't start off good this year or decent, he might be gone. And then that's another whole process. So it's hard to tell, man, but I give it like 3 or 4 years.
No, that's it. Okay. Well, we'll see, man. I don't know. Look, I'm by the time the Rockets start winning again, I might be on fucking blood pressure medication. I'll be washed up, man, at this point. Yeah. So, hopefully it happens sooner, but I don't know, man. We got a bunch of kids on this fucking team, dog.
Yeah.
And they're exciting to watch when they win, but they hardly win. And that's one of the biggest issues, man. So
you should appreciate the James Harden era, man.
I was saying when the James Harden left that Rockets, we really didn't know how good we had it. Like, fuck it. Yeah, he didn't win shit here, but it's always exciting to be in the mix.
Yeah.
And like we were the worst team in the NBA this year. Like really for the past 2 years. I think it's gonna be this year too, dog. So we definitely gonna be picking again high in the draft. So I don't know, man. We'll see. People are getting hyped about these kids for a while, but just you can only take losing for so long. But we'll see, man. But speaking of high draft picks, we gotta talk about this Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant drama going on in Brooklyn. The reason this is relevant to us in Houston is because the Houston Rockets have the Nets first round picks, I believe, through 2027. So the worst they do, the better our team gets. And apparently, Kyrie Irving is having trouble coming to an agreement for an extension in Brooklyn. And he has apparently implied or said that he has a list of teams he'd like to consider on sign and trade, including the Lakers, the Clippers, the Knicks, the Heat, the Mavericks, the most surprising choice, and the 76ers. And it's also implied that if Kyrie Irving leaves, Kevin Durant will be leaving as well.
Yeah.
Because they're very tight and close together. I don't know if they go to the same team or what, but it has been reported that he would not be happy if Kyrie left, and he would also want to leave. So, what do you think about that? And people are really pushing the Kyrie to the Lakers. So we might be seeing a reunion between LeBron James and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Now, you being a Cleveland fan, you know what that looks like. You know who blew that up.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that, man? What do you think about him maybe going to the Lakers or any of these teams mentioned?
I think him going to the Lakers would make the most sense. I don't. It's kind of strange seeing Kyrie wanting to go to Philly.
Yeah,
I wonder what the hell Philly gonna give up for Kyrie, unless they give up that young team, the Maxey and all them. But I'm surprised he wanted to go to Philly. I could kind of see him wanting to go to Dallas and play with Luka.
That was surprising to me, man, because number one, I don't feel like Mark Cuban would take any of Kyrie's shit. And
really? Oh
yeah.
I see. Yeah, I could see. Yeah.
I could see them clashing a lot. I could see Kyrie clashing with Luka a lot. I'm surprised. I'm just surprised he wants to come to Texas at all. Especially with Dallas. I was shocked to see that.
Yeah. I think it made the most sense going to the Lakers because Kyrie was kind of going on a little media podcast tour where he kept talking about the glory days in Cleveland and playing with LeBron, and if he would have stayed, he probably would have had more championships and all that bullshit. Like, why you talking about it now? Like, move the fuck on. But I could see him linking back up with LeBron in LA because clearly they Russell is not a fit. It wasn't a fit from the beginning. I don't even understand why they even made that trade, but I could see them going right after Kyrie. So I think that made the most sense. But the one thing I was thinking about, man, the Brooklyn Nets. Do you think that's the most disappointing team in history? Because this team, they got Kyrie and Kevin Durant at one point. They eventually got James Harden. They ain't even sniff for NBA Finals, man. And people had them going to the finals damn near every year since they been together, and they ain't even get to a finals, man. Do you think that's probably the most disappointing team, especially if they break up?
I mean, if you want to talk like team as in all time, like the whole time they've been together, probably I would say the Lakers were more disappointing this season than any other super team has been in the history of this era. The fact that they were so shitty, despite everybody picking them to at least win the West, was wild. I would think without people gonna look back at this Brooklyn Nets team with Harden, with Durant and Kyrie and say, yeah, that was the most wasted potential ever on the team. But I mean, with context, Kevin Durant was hurt a lot. Kyrie was going through his own shit. And James Harden seemed like he didn't want to be there. He wanted to go to Philly first. And he just ended up going to Brooklyn. So I think with context, it makes more sense. But yeah, I think people are going to look back and say, yeah, how the fuck did this team do so badly?
Yeah, because that, to me, I would take, if somebody told me you got James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant on one team, I would take them over. I would probably take them over LeBron, AD, and probably Westbrook.
Mm-hmm.
Like that team can, like the Brooklyn team can score, man. Like all of them dudes can score whenever they want. And at least the Lakers, I mean, I know we don't count the bubble championship, but at least they got something.
Yeah.
Like, they got something. But man, Brooklyn ain't even sniff a finals, man.
Yeah.
They spent all that money, all them draft picks, and they did. This is not the first time they did that. And they ain't getting nowhere, man. They're gonna have to blow this team up, man.
Yeah.
That was disappointing because when Kevin Durant signed with them and then Kyrie Irving signed with them, people just knew they was going to the finals, man. And they was playing in the East, and then LeBron went to the West, and they ain't even come close, man.
Yeah. I mean, Brooklyn's just had bad luck, man. From the beginning when they got the fucking old Boston 3, like when they were all washed up.
Durant.
Yeah. And they thought that they were going to do something there.
Yeah, Jason Terry. They had all the old players, man.
Yeah, that was a rough time. And then, things were looking up when they had a younger, exciting team. They had D'Angelo Russell and all them out there playing pretty well. But then they went all in on Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. And that's when the wheels kind of fell off, man. So, they just had bad luck, man. But, fuck it, what can you do?
Yeah.
That's life in the NBA.
Disappointing, man. Well, I wonder, but to stay on this, I wonder where Kevin Durant would go if Kyrie decided to leave.
That's a good question, man. I don't know.
Yeah. This is totally me being a fanboy, but I would love to see Kevin Durant sign with Cleveland. Like, how crazy would that be? Because Cleveland do have a set team.
Yeah.
They just, they got one player that's a star, a potential star. But if they could just plug him in there, like that, I think that'd be a legit team, man. He's not going to Cleveland, but that would be fucking hilarious. Like the guy that, that's kind of behind LeBron, go to LeBron City and potentially get them in a hunt for the NBA Finals. I think that'd be hilarious because unless the Lakers trade for Kyrie, I don't know if they're gonna get to a finals again.
Yeah,
because they got a lot going on, man. They they got a lot of old players, and they clearly need to rebuild.
Yeah, I don't know. Cleveland would be crazy. It will also be weird because he already had the thing of the Warriors, which people don't want to give him credit now. He looks extra bad now with the Warriors. Telling him they don't need him and then proving it a few years later. So he already looks bad there. He would look, it would kind of look kind of sketchy if he went to Cleveland to try to like overwrite LeBron's legacy or something. Like LeBron always going to be the most famous player in Cleveland.
Yeah, no,
basketball wise, man.
100%. Yeah.
So that would be kind of weird, but I don't know where else he would go. He's not going to go to the Knicks. He could have went to the Knicks earlier. He said no, and he kind of dissed them. So I don't see him going to the Knicks.
Do you see him going to his hometown, Washington?
I could see that, but
they're not a contender or anything. But I wonder if he even want to go to a contender.
Yeah, I think he's implied before that he didn't want to play back home, or he didn't want to go back home to play. So yeah, I don't know. That was back when he was first a free agent before he went to the Warriors. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It'll be interesting. It'll be crazy. I don't know where he would go. Kevin Durant's just a weird guy, man. I don't know where he would go.
Yeah, I know wherever he go, man. I'm sure they'll probably build around him. Hopefully they don't get rid of every young player to bring all these old ass, players in. But that's why I mentioned the Cavs. I feel like he can just step in. And they'd be a good team because they don't have a scorer like him, but they have a good young team that almost made the playoffs, and I feel like that'd be a good team, in the East.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't think look, I hate to diss Cleveland, but he ain't trying to go to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Go from Brooklyn to Cleveland. I think he'd rather stay in Brooklyn.
But Kevin Durant, I don't think he's a guy who cares about the nightlife or what's going on in the city. I always take him as a guy who probably stay indoors most of the time anyway, man. So yeah, I don't think that's a factor for him.
I still don't think he'll go to Cleveland though.
Yeah.
Like would Kevin Durant go to Detroit? Like if that's the case, I think if that's the case, I would say he probably should just go back to OKC where he started.
Yeah.
And try to, because that's where he was loved, but he ain't got no ties to OKC.
Yeah.
So there's no point of going back there. So I don't know, that he in a weird place, man.
He is.
Because even with LeBron, if he want to leave the Lakers, he teased going back to Miami. Mm-hmm. And of course, Cleveland always going to be in the conversation. But he got a couple options there. But yeah, Kevin Durant, that's weird, man. Especially if he don't want to go. He don't want to go play for his hometown.
Yeah, I could see him linking back up with Kyrie if Kyrie don't go to the Lakers. If Kyrie goes to the Lakers, I don't see any way they can afford bringing KD too. And I don't think a lot of those teams can afford Kyrie right now. They have to move a whole lot of shit to even get him. But the Lakers can't afford him right now for sure. But I don't see how. I don't know. I feel like if he don't go to the Lakers, Kyrie and Kevin Durant might say, "Hey, let's run it back somewhere else."
Yeah,
on a team that has better equipped. I can see that happening too. So I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah.
But Kevin Durant's a strange guy. I don't know. I can't call it.
Yeah, it might be a spicy all season for the NBA.
Yep. Yeah, it seems like almost every offseason is spicy now, man. It's been crazy in sports period on offseason. So speaking of spicy offseason stuff, Deshaun Watson went ahead and settled 20 of the 24 sexual misconduct lawsuits, the civil lawsuits. Undisclosed amount, we're not going to find out. Those terms are confidential. But yeah, people are suggesting that this is an attempt to lessen the suspension or the punishment or whatever's going to happen is apparently going to be announced soon. And there are reports that Deshaun Watson, his legal team, the Players Association, and the commissioner and the league itself have been trying to negotiate a punishment for Deshaun Watson. I think the idea is the league wants to suspend them for an entire season, and the NFL Players Association and, of course, Deshaun Watson are fighting against that. So, yeah, I don't know what it's going to be. Everybody's expecting at least a season at this point. But do you think him selling the cases will make a difference in that, or do you think whatever it is already done?
Yeah, I kind of got a little conspiracy, and I guess it's a conspiracy or maybe a theory on this, because I had no idea he's going to settle the cases this quick. Now we all thought he should settle, but he I think he said a couple days or the week before that he planned on fighting these cases and clearing his name. So my little theory is Busby. Remember Busby? He kind of threw the Texans' name into the fire, as a defendant type of thing. I wonder if the NFL stepped up to Deshaun and his team and said, "Hey, look, you need to settle this shit because it's starting to get a little dirtier now because they trying to throw an NFL team in here." And it was going to keep lingering on. It was going to get worse and worse. Hey, settle these cases, settle as much as you can. And we'll negotiate a suspension type thing. And I wonder if something like that happened and Deshaun's team trying to, maybe lowball, say, hey, suspend him for 6 games. And Roger Goodell in the NFL said, hell no, we can't. No, that's a joke. We'll get our ass killed in the media if you only got 6 games for this shit. and maybe that's where the talks broke off, where they didn't come to a real agreement, because clearly Deshaun and this team don't want to be suspended for a year. I think they're trying to get as less time as possible. I don't think a lot of people were saying like 2 years and all this shit. I don't think it's going to be 2 years, but I think Deshaun trying to get little as possible. I don't know if he's trying to get 8 games, 6 games, 12 games, something like that. But I wonder if the NFL had anything to do with Deshaun just saying, fuck it, settle it, let's settle right now and try to get this behind us, because it seemed like it just came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't expecting him to settle this quick like this, or at least the 22 cases. So I wonder with Busby throwing the Houston Texans name in here, I wonder, was that the NFL saying, we need to step in? Like, no, you're not about to fight all of this. You ain't about to have this lingering on. You need to do something now. And we'll try to help you. We can negotiate a suspension type thing. I wonder if that's the case, because they don't even sound right for his team to just try to go to the NFL to negotiate. Mm-hmm. Like, why the fuck are you, like, the NFL could do whatever they want. Like, you don't never see, I never heard of anybody else trying to negotiate their suspension. Usually when you do something, you wait for the NFL to drop the hammer down, and you maybe try to appeal it. But for the simple fact the news came out saying, negotiations broke off, or whatever the term they use, I wonder if the NFL tried to make a backdoor agreement to, make him settle this, and we kind of lessen the blow a little bit.
I don't know if they straight up said. I think somebody pressured Deshaun to and his team to go ahead and settle as many as they could. I mean, you remember with the Miami deal, that was the barrier that kept him being dealt to Miami, because Miami said, you got to settle them all, or else we're not going to deal for you. And there was apparently they could have settled, I think, 20. Yeah. But there was still some left over, and it fell apart. So I definitely think it's possible. I honestly, I would be more inclined to think the Browns sat him down and said, look, you got to settle as many as you can right now. Like, because they're getting killed. Yeah. Like, there's people out there got to answer Deshaun Watson questions every single day, man. And like, they didn't think it was going to be this bad. They knew it was going to be bad. They didn't think it would get worse. They didn't think they would deal with more lawsuits. I don't think they didn't expect the heat to get turned up even more after the fact. So I think the Browns said, nah, you got to settle this as many, even if they all don't get settled right now. No, don't be on this fighting to clear your name bullshit, dog. Sell as many as you can, and we'll go from there. But the NFL, I don't know, man. I don't see how you can negotiate your punishment. But the whole case is weird, because I mean, I'll see the NFLPA's point. I'm sure they're arguing the fact that, look, if you suspend a guy a full season, even though he criminally was not charged with anything, then the precedent is, if anybody accuses one of our players of some shit, they could miss a whole season too. Yeah. So I get what they're probably arguing. They might not care that much about Deshaun himself, but they don't want the precedent to be set where any of our players could miss a season just because somebody accuses him of something, even if it's not criminally charged or anything. So I'm sure that's what their argument is, and that's where the back and forth is going, and that's probably why it's taken so long for them to finally announce whatever the punishment is going to be. But I don't know if they offered to negotiate with Deshaun about it, but who knows, man? Crazy shit's happened. Tab said the NFL definitely pressured Deshaun to pay off the women and put this behind him. I mean, it's possible. They've been taking a lot of heat. People are gonna. I feel like no matter what the NFL does, it's not gonna be enough for some people, and it's gonna be too much for some people. Yeah,
you ain't gonna satisfy everybody. Yeah, but Yeah, I could kind of see the players, the PA point of view because, look, man, I'm not defending nobody, but like, it's a bunch of hearsay, man. You got one lawyer putting out all of these different statements, and you got the victims putting out what he did and all this other stuff. And if he did it, that's awful, man. He deserved all the smoke, but we wasn't there, man. So from our point of view, from anybody's point of view, is kind of hearsay. So you could get somebody could get suspended for a whole year just because a victim was out there saying he did this. And there's like I said, man, I said this before. Ray Rice got a video. You seen the video? Everybody's seen the video. That ended his career. If it was no video, he'd probably still be in the league. But unless Deshaun got some type of video out and somebody leak a video or something like that, it's hard, because there's no criminal charges or anything like that. So it's tough to me. I guess I'm speaking from the PA point of view. How could you suspend somebody because you got all of these allegations? You know what I mean? And there's no criminal charge. So I could kind of see where they're going with it, because now it could be the Wild Wild West. You could have a whole all it takes is somebody who's a quarterback who's a playboy who be messing around with all these different women, and they could gang up and make an allegation. You know what I mean? And hopefully nothing like that will happen. But it just from that point of view, somebody getting suspended for a whole year for allegations like this, where it's a whole bunch of he did this or she did this, he lied, a whole bunch of hearsay. I think that's kind of crazy, but yeah, I guess just thinking as a normal human, it's like, damn, like, dog, he can't play this year, man.
Yeah.
Like this is out of control, man. It's not like one person or two people. Like this is out of control where, you can't do that. But from the PA point of view, it's like you can't suspend them for hearsay.
Yeah. I mean, I get both points. I get why, like, look, if the NFL don't suspend him at least this season, like, the media is going to tear into them. Yeah. Women are going to be really upset. And, like, look, it's going to make the league look bad. It's going to cost them a lot. All their domestic abuse and women's profit charities things are going to be laughed at. They have a women's month or something. They're going to be like, oh, you have a women's month, but you only suspended Deshaun Watson 6 games for assaulting 24 women at least. So like shit like that, like, it's going to make them look really bad. But I also get the NFLPA's point of this can't be a precedent. If we go down this, then any player could potentially be fucked if some shit gets accused and we take it to court and there's no criminal wrongdoing accused and he still gets suspended. So it's just a weird situation, man.
Yeah.
But I just think they need to just go ahead and announce what it's going to be and get that over with, and they'll go from there. But they need to stop being pussy about it. I feel like they're trying to delay it as long as possible.
Do you see? And a lot of people saying, I think it's going to be a year. I think it's going to be a year. The way they're delaying it and how it's taking so long, because what's taking so long? It's not like anything else is developing. So to me, I feel like he's not going to get a whole year, man. I don't think it's going to be 4 or 6 games or something like that, but I got a feeling he's not going to get a whole year, man. If he was, like, everything is out there. If he was getting a full year, they would have dropped the hammer year and that's it. But they delaying it a long time, man. So I wonder if they just trying to prepare for the blowback. They trying to make sure everything is, I's is dotted, T's crossed, and all that shit. And they gonna they're gonna release the statement, right before the 4th of July, a news media dump day.
Yeah.
So because like right now, it's not like it's an ongoing case. Like everything is out there, man. So nothing has developed. So what are they waiting on? And then it's not like the couple more cases that came out, that his newest cases came out, and it's like, oh, we got to go back and look into this, and let's add this to it and maybe change the punishment. Look, man, 22 is a lot. 22 is a lot. 2 more ain't gonna change the whole punishment, in my opinion. 22, 23, 24, that's a lot, no matter what. So I just don't get why they're delaying this. The only thing I could think of is maybe it's not about to be that big of a harsh punishment.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I keep going back and forth on this, man. I'm flip-flopping, I admit, because last week I thought it was going to be a year. But this week now I'm starting to question that. I mean, if the NFLPA is getting involved, if all this stuff is happening, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, no matter what, it's going to be too much for some people and not enough for some people. So it's not good. I don't think anybody's going to be happy with the result, regardless of what it is. So they just need to go ahead and get it over with and let people know.
Yeah, it's crazy because I was in a situation. So one of my old jobs, I was in a situation where I used to take care of mentally challenged adults in a group home. And I was in a situation where one of the clients lied on me and said I hit him with a billy club. This was an older guy. He used to lie on. He was known for lying on people. And he told the supervisor or whoever that I hit him upside the head with a billy club, and I kicked him while he was asleep. So they ended up taking me off the schedule and suspending me without pay until they investigate. So I was really pissed because, mind you, first of all, I wasn't making that much anyway, but I was depending on that money. I got bills and all that shit. So, it was kind of fucked up because the person pretty much lied on me. And now I'm suffering because now I'm not getting paid and I'm waiting on this investigation that took like 3 weeks. So it's like, damn. So now the union rep is fighting for me because he like, this ain't fair. This, this client, and we got to care for the clients. So, there's no way they could just say, hey, you're lying. Just, because I could have been doing something, but the story didn't add up. Like, why would I have a billy club? That's an old school term. That's pretty much a nightstick. Why would I have a nightstick? And the shit didn't add up. So, how would that look if, the job decided to suspend me for the whole year anyway, because it was an allegation that happened. And, it was a whole bunch of, he said this, and I'm saying, no, I didn't do that. That would
be fair. You're telling this story in the context of we know for sure you didn't do it.
I'm telling. I know. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to compare it to Deshaun Watson or anything like that, but I'm just saying, just in general, somebody making an allegation, not anything where it was me on video, and it's like, oh, you did do this, so you got suffered crime. I'm talking about pure allegations, where it's like, damn, like I'm getting dragged through the mud because of an allegation, and now I'm suffering the consequences, even though I didn't really do anything. But eventually, I did, get back to work, and they ended up giving me my money back. But like, as a union person, you got to fight for that, no matter what. You know what I mean? Especially if it's a whole bunch of allegations. Now, if somebody seen me do it and there's video and evidence and all that stuff, that's totally different. So I think that's what the NFL is working with right now. They pretty much fighting these allegations. Now, it'd be totally different if it was video or anything like that, but right now they trying to take up for a player because all allegations. Otherwise, it'd be a whole bunch of people with allegations that's getting suspended for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, man. It's tough because you want to, I mean, it's almost impossible to be mindful of the alleged victims and also want to give the benefit of the doubt to your player. You know, it's really impossible to make those two things meet. You know, either basically you're implying that these women are lying if you give Deshaun a light sentence or no sentence. Yeah. And if you give him a heavy sentence, then you're implying that, oh, they must be telling the truth. And even though they went to court and there were no criminal charges. So it's impossible. Like, it's a tough situation, man.
Yeah.
I don't envy anybody who has to make that decision, but it is what it is.
Yeah. And I think with the PA, I think it's not even about the women. I think it's more about the NFL. They trying to keep the NFL in check, saying, hey, you can't do our players like this. So, because like I said, at the end of the day, it's allegations, and he going through a civil suit, and you know they want to take up for their players against the NFL, not the women, but the NFL. They don't want the NFL going around like suspending people for allegation. So, you know, I don't think it have anything to do with the women. I think it's more trying to keep Roger Goodell and the NFL in check.
Yeah, so it's also the caliber of player too, because players have been suspended for allegations. Players have, you know, I think Ben Roethlisberger was, what's his name? The dude Antonio Brown, wasn't he suspended recently for some shit that was alleged? So I mean, it's happened. There's precedent for it, but the caliber of Deshaun Watson plus the
amount of women.
Yeah, the amount plus the fact that a season long, which is so. I think those are the things that are making the PA probably fight extra hard for him. But I don't know, man. We'll see when it happens. Like we said, you just got to go ahead and announce it, get it over with. Yeah, stop being pussy.
Yeah, it could be a thing too where they looked at Big Ben like, hey, he had allegations too and settled, and he only got 6 games or 4 games or whatever he got. So they probably could be trying to make the case saying, hey, this is pretty much the same thing. But, you know, I don't know. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if he got like 12 games or something. Because I think they played the Texans week 13 or something. Somewhere around there, but I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't a full season.
If it's 12 games, it might as well be the fucking season, man. Like, what you gonna do with 4 games left in the season, dog?
Yeah, like
you already got shit wrapped up at that point.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a full season, man, because it's taking way too long. Like, what are they trying to figure out now?
Yeah, I don't know. Like we said, I have a feeling by this time next week we might finally know. They did. There's reports that they will let everybody know before training camp happens, which is coming up pretty soon. So we're gonna know eventually.
Just keep an eye out for around the week of the 4th of July.
Yeah, that's what people are saying. Could be the day the hammer drops. So. Yeah, we'll see. Of course, keep it locked in on Sports Radio 610, 10 to 2 a.m., 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., my bad. And, of course, Landry and Fig and all them folks are going to keep you updated on everything, what's going on. And so, yeah, make sure y'all keep it locked in.
I just can't wait till this shit over.
It's never gonna be over. Look, like it's never gonna fucking be over. Okay, man.
It's a little bit. It's a little better because the 20 of the 24 is settled.
Yeah.
So you ain't got to keep dealing with this shit. I mean, you got the other 4 cases left, but I just can't wait till it's like, damn. Remember he had those cases back in the day.
Yeah, people were calling Ben Roethlisberger a rapist the day he retired, dog. Okay, it's never gonna be fully over. Like, it's gonna follow him forever.
See, that part don't bother me. To me, getting deep into the cases and the lawyer statement from the lawyers and all this other bullshit, that's the part I'm tired of.
Yeah,
like Deshaun gonna be called a pervert for the rest of his life, but I'm sick and tired of Tony Busby made a statement. And, Rusty Hart replied, and deposition coming up next week, and I just can't wait till all of that shit over.
Yeah. I mean, we're basically at the end anyway, man. Plus, he's out of Houston now, so
yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
Texas might get some good first round picks too. So
maybe, or maybe Jacoby Brissett leads him to the promised land. Who knows, man? It's the NFL. Anything is possible.
I know.
So with that being said, fuck it. I think it's about time to wrap up this edition of the podcast. So everybody on stream, we're about to cut the stream off right now, do our little musical intro or outro that we're going to get kicked off of YouTube on if we play it on YouTube. So bye to everybody who's chimed in on the stream. What up, Tab? As usual, holding it down. Andre Eagles, Holly Rachel Worshipper. Everybody who came through to chat with us a little bit, we appreciate.
Who the hell is AJ, man?
I don't know. Some dude came in and said we were, "What's up, you fat Albert looking freaks?" Which I'm fine with a good roast, but at least make it make sense, man. We don't look like no fucking fat Albert. Fat Albert ain't got no facial hair. Okay, at least make your disses accurate. That's all I ask. You can call Figgy George Clinton. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
You can call me. Jasmine called me too short once, and that still stings a little bit. Yeah. Jasmine said I look like Too Short. That stung me, man, because Too Short's like fucking 55 years old, dog.
Yeah.
That was stuck with me. That one stuck with me.
Remember that video, Too Short trying to run from the cops?
No, I don't think I saw that.
It was like a video. He tried to run, his old ass tried to run from the cops, and he ran slow as fuck. He ran slow as fuck and got caught.
Oh no,
that was probably the funniest thing he did. But yeah,
that's rough. That's
rough.
So like we said, y'all can come in and diss us if you want. Just make it funny and make it make sense. Okay, that's all we ask.
Yeah, people keep a couple people try to hit me with Tekashi 6ix9ine. I'm like, all right, original because of my hair, the color in my hair.
What the fuck? Like, you think of
anybody with color hair is
like,
6ix9ine? No,
how can that don't even make no fucking sense, dog? Like I said, George Clinton makes sense. At least he's black. Okay. Don't be calling nobody. Tekashi did not have braids or dreads or anything like that. Come on.
This ain't even like a true rainbow color. Like it's one thing if I had the LGBTQ colors or something. Yeah. This ain't even that. I don't know.
Yeah. People, y'all, like you said, be more creative with your roast. That's all we ask, man. You can come and roast us if you want. We down with whatever, but make it funny and make it make sense.
Yeah.
So anyway, appreciate y'all on the stream. We gonna catch y'all next time. And let's end this.